Hello, everybody. Hello, how's it going? How's everybody's Friday? How was everybody's week? Woohoo! Yeah, I put a laugh track in there too, because I realized I didn't have a laugh track. So there's that in there for those funny moments. I thought that'd be appropriate, especially for visual novels, because they are basically like little mini dramas. Just a little one. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too cray-cray. But yeah, I hope everybody's week went okay. Just a couple of things. So the brand new art for next month is underway. I've already started sketching that out and adding some color. So you guys can expect a brand new start screen. And I'm gonna drink some water. You guys can expect a brand new spankin' start screen for the month of March. It's already looking pretty, so I hope you guys like it. Let's see, what else? Also, aw, thank you for the heart. That's so cute. Is that a hippo and a capybara? That is so cute. I love that. Let's see. Game capture and our life. Hello? There we go. Yes. Very good. That is so cute. That's too cute. I love that. But yes, we are going to be playing more Our Life. Beginnings and Always. Or is it always in beginnings? Either way, I'm going to be doing some more reading, so kick back, relax. It's gonna be a chill stream tonight while I serenade you with my sweet voice and yes. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. On the Discord, if you are in the Discord or want to be in the Discord, let me drop a link right here. This is just in case you want to hang out after stream. For anyone that's lurking out there that has not yet joined the Discord, you're always welcome. Love to have you. I added some reactive roles as a channel, so if you are not the role that you're supposed to be, you're a streamer or you're a Twitch subscriber, you can easily adjust your roles there, or you can just contact me and just say, hey, Hibika, can you adjust my role? And just let me know. I'll fix it up. I'll fix you up, baby! Also, Starburst, hello! Hello! Good to see you. So, shall we get started? Shall we finally get started, chat? I'm sorry to keep you all waiting. So, where we left off in Our Life is we went on this fabulous summer trip. I'm doing just fine, Starburst. How are you? So, we had our summer trip, and we were in the RV, and we almost kissed a boy! We almost kissed a boy! And then, he hit his head, and the entire van woke up, and our kiss was for naught. We did not kiss. Did not kiss. It's not time for that yet, apparently. So, maybe in this chapter, maybe we kiss in this chapter? Who knows? There was no denying it. Today was the very last day of summer. Tomorrow you were heading to class. Let's see. I was excited to go back. Let's see. Oh, thank you for booping me. Doing great. Interested to see the story. Yes, it's a very cute story. It was a bummer. I mean, I'm excited to go back to school typically. Typically. That's kind of how it is. Oh, that summer had been fun. You had taken your fill. And now you were longing for fresh excitement. A new school year. Full of potential. You got dressed, not envisioning a word? Hello? Not envisaging the day before you, but contemplating what lay ahead of you tomorrow. Life was sure going to be different. You had come to think of the summer vacation as the norm, but school stretched out for the majority of the year, whereas the summer vacation was just a break in the middle. So, rather than it being different, it was kind of a return to the normal. What did your normal life really mean? You considered how fondly your moms talked about their summer vacations as kids? You dimly recognized that one year the pattern of school and summer itself would be over for good. It was hard to imagine. It's, honestly, more busy as an adult than it is as a kid. Definitely, for sure. Although I don't miss schoolwork, that's for sure. I don't miss the constant, oh, do this busy work and then return it for a grade. Don't miss that. Don't miss that one bit. I've done my time. Been through all of it, even college. Wouldn't do it again. Fun experience, though. Fun experience. You got distracted. One arm still out of a sleeve. You pulled it through and put your mind back to the present. This season had brought about plenty of changes of its own. Like Kyra's visit. Though that too was coming to an end today. Let's see. You don't miss school either, you'd rather uni. Yeah. College was fun. College was pretty fun. It was hard. But the experiences I had there, I couldn't replace. I don't regret college at all. Let's see. Happy, got to know her, extremely fun, didn't really like her. Didn't care one way or the other. I mean, at least we're kind of getting to know her. She was interesting to be around. You liked how easy it was to talk to her. Yeah, I don't really like her, but I don't hate her either. You finished dressing, which was good. Cove would be there any moment. You agreed to see his mom off together. Officially, the plan was that he would come over to bring you round to his house when she was ready to set off. But you both knew you'd be hanging out for at least a little while beforehand. Kyra's visit had troubled Cove when it first happened. It had been a sudden change thanks to Mr. Holden's infamous tendency to surprise people. But once he was able to adjust, he'd been in pretty good spirits with her around. It was a relief for everybody. Shadow Killer, you made it! How are you doing? I'm doing great. Ellipses. The next thought that crossed your mind was, let's see, be only polite to get the door, can wait to see Cove. Let's see. We'll just do that one. Because we can't wait to see our boo! You bounded toward the stairs, your hand gliding over the rail. You wanted to make sure you got there first. If you didn't hurry, your moms might answer it. It was only a few minutes later when the doorbell rang. As you chosen to stand beside it to wait for Cove, there was no delay in pulling it open. Hi! Cove was there, just as you expected. Seeing you, he flashed you a bright grin. Hi, Hibika. Hi, Cove. Come on in. Once he'd stepped inside, you beckoned for him to follow you upstairs. And it's time for me to stretch, so I will stretch and read at the same time. Back up into your room, you sat down on your bed and waited for Cove to settle in, as you knew he would. With other guests, you might have offered them a seat, but you and Cove were long past those tentative stages of friendship. Your room was just as familiar to him as his own, especially since he climbs through my window like every night. You watched as Cove sat down in your desk chair, his preferred spot. He rolled it closer to the bed to make it easier to chat, tweaking the angle so he could face you fully. Once happy with the position, he leaned in toward you, hands held to his lap. His actions weren't one of someone planned on moving from a spot anytime soon, even though you had an appointment to keep together that day. When's your mom leaving?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I hope that bitch leaves soon. We've got some time. She's still got a shower and stuff before she goes. She didn't want me just to keep hanging around while she was doing that. He lifted his head, his gaze drifting out through the window, and chuckled. I can't believe she's already leaving. Just when I'm getting used to her being there every day. Just have them get remarried. They seem fine. They are funny! Look, his wavy eyebrows are cute. I like odd eyebrows. He leaned back in the chair, a wry smile tickling his cheeks. She'll be back! Time's going by so fast. He cocked his head thoughtfully before shrugging. He ran a hand through his hair before shaking his head. as if shaking off the topic like a dog whipping off water following a dip in the sea. Zoro hair. Hi, Andy. How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while, I feel like. How are you feeling, by the way? You're not still in the hospital, are you? I mean, the green teal, once you realize the other characters' hair colors, it doesn't seem as funny, because it is very bright for hair. Aw, thank you for the boop on the snoot, by the way. Silence stretched out between you. Quiet didn't survive long around you, but you held off shaking this one. Cove's expression, from the way he began to chew his lip to the deepening lines of worry in his face, suggested that it was a prelude to something else. He started to curl in on himself, draping an arm across his lap. Cove was looking less and less comfortable in the space as you watched him wondering what to do. What the fuck is going on, bro? Cove spoke up before you'd made a decision on whether or not to push him on what the matter was. There was a tremor in his voice that you rarely heard while the two of you were in the safety of your room. I wanted to talk to you about... Childhood friend tag, oh, we don't talk about that. I wanted to talk to you about the road trip. What happened then? Oh god. Oh, it's coming back to haunt me. Ooh, I need to sip my tea for this. I need to sip my tea for this, chat. Your eyes grew at the reaction. Cove pulled his arms around his chest, his shoulders hunching inwards. You knew what he was implying. Back when you'd been in the loft and nearly kissed. Cove hadn't breathed a word about it since it happened. Or, well, almost happened.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for moving away like that when you tried to... He dropped the sentence. You didn't push for him to finish. It had conveyed what it needed. And I'm sorry for how I've been since, you know, acting like it didn't even happen. I've thought about it. I mean, I haven't forgotten about it. I don't keep thinking about it all the time. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Oh my god. But... Yes, you think about this shit all the time. Otherwise, you wouldn't be fucking talking about it. Got him. Got you. I got you. He hung his red-cheeked head, forehead propped up by a couple of fingers. You could tell that he was already regretting how this was going.
Sorry.
Sorry for being weird. It's just... I kind of thought or hoped that sometime I'd be able to do this with me talking about everything. And yeah, I gotta lock in. I gotta sip my tea while I get this tea, you know? Everything? There's more? He nodded ever so slightly. Your face felt a lot hotter after that. Cove brightened a little at your positive reaction, and his explanation continued. You need art of me locking in. That could be arranged. It could definitely be arranged, unless someone draws it first. I could sort of picture how it might go. Oh, what it'd be like with you and me. Just the first part. I could never imagine anything that come after. And now it's actually happened. We're there, it's, He took another deep breath, stuttering on the exhale. This makes things different. Should we find a crystal ball for answers? This is hard for me. Things don't have to be different. I don't think we'd see anything. Nothing? That's kind of sad for us. That isn't what I meant. It's just that they can't really show the future. They're just glass. Oh, that's what you meant. You were happy to see him being livelier. Oh, this tea is so good. His wide eyes met yours as he looked at you, less burdened from the anxiety that had built up inside him. How about a do-over? You want to try again? How about a do-over? No! I got rejected! No! The words shot out reflexively. Oh no. He couldn't help it, but immediately cringed at himself. I cringe at myself all the time. It's normal behavior. Normal Hibika behavior. Do you really mean that? No. I mean, I do want to try again if you still want to. Ah! I got pooped. Definitely not this one. Yeah, go for it. Just go for it. Just go for it. Girl, just go for it. Just fucking go for it. You entangled yourself from your resting position and stood up. Realizing your intent to actually go for it, Cove straightened up in the chair, his hands coiled together in his lap. Yes, girl, go get it, queen. Oh, get that fucking kiss, queen. Yes. As you move towards him, you notice his knees knocking together as he trembled. Guys, I'm like twirling my hair right now. I'm like curling my hair around my finger right now. Oh, golly gee. Okay, his decision not to rise from his chair made perfect sense. If he was that shaky while sitting down, I got booped again. Thank you. There's no way he'd manage to stand without at least one of you falling over. Your legs brushed against his quivering ones as you came to a stop in front of him. Cove was staring up at you. As you leaned in toward him, he echoed the motion and drew in toward you. Once you were close enough to feel Cove's breath on your face, you closed your eyes. The last thing you saw was Cove quickly doing the same. Oh dear, oh golly gee. Oh me, oh my. Oh my god, my freckles! They included the freckles I wanted! My freckles! My freckles! My freckles! My freckles. Yeah, we got fucking freckles! Hold on. She. Woo! We're winning. We're winning because we got freckles. Your lips met with Cove's for a moment. His lips were pressed tightly together, unyielding, but it was alright. You were kissing him and he was kissing you. That's some smooching. That's some smooching. Some hella smooching. Your stomach somersaulted. You couldn't believe it was really happening. In that moment it felt warm, and it felt nice, and it felt right. You drew back and Cove slipped down into the chair, the knuckles of his hands pale after gripping so tightly. God damn. My boy is locked in. Thinking that he could do with some space to breathe, figuratively and literally, you took a step back. Cove shot up, his stance rigid. Cove plastered a hand over his mouth, his eyes shut tight. His back then became bowed, shrinking him down. You could only just make out the few words he managed to summon. Oh my god! Oh my god! I can't believe we actually... His eyes flew open wide, but he didn't look your way, let alone meet your gaze. Zoro was probably holding himself back from jumping straight into the act. Jesus Christ, Andy.
Oh my god.
Oh, we kissed! We kissed! I was full of nerves. His reaction was really cute. Thought the fluster was funny. It's cute. He's so cute. Oh my god, it would have been awkward. But they didn't, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You watched him adoringly as he tried to gather his senses. Cove only slammed his eyes closed once again. Did you like it? Was that bad? Did I do something okay? I'm gonna go, it was nice, wasn't it? Was it good for you too? You could not pull away, you'd stay close. Oh, you would stay locked into the smooch until, like, he pulled away? He was still holding the hand to his face, but in an attempt to answer, he emitted a muffled whimper. So Ro got lost and went to a dating sim. With that obviously not working, he uncovered his face at last, bringing the hand to lay against his chest and looked at you. Yeah? He opened his mouth, poised to speak, and pursed his lips as words failed him. On his third or fourth attempt, you heard what he had to say. I did like it. I'm glad that we, you know... He swallowed, seemingly not able to speak the actual word. That we kissed? Cope ducked his head but nodded. You got the impression that he was grateful you finished the thought, but your direct words had pierced his Achilles heel. You grinned, thrilled that the experience had been a welcome one. The smile on Cope's face was real, but weary, not unlike the one he wore after a long and exhausting day of activity. Like when he'd made a new personal best, the work had been hard, but the reward had been worth it. What? I mean, I guess that makes sense. With some newfound confidence, he drew himself up as he inhaled deeply. Each word he spoke next was delicate. Hibika, I like... Really? You kissed me? What are you gonna do? Kiss me and be like, look, I think we should just be friends. Yes, you leaned in for the kiss. It was deep and passionate as our arms coiled together in a loving embrace. He pulled away, looked into my eyes as he spoke. His breath still heavy on my face. I think we should just be friends. Bro, what? A lot, probably way too much. Oh, okay. Well, that's better. Now that's what I'm talking about. He ducked his head bashfully and opened an eye, peeking at you through the hair that had fallen over his face like a veil. He'd managed to smile. Thanks for waiting for me? His eyes sparkled just looking at you, his affection transparently clear. He never could hide what he was feeling, and you couldn't be more grateful for that day. I like you even more. I like you too. I like you even more. Yes, I have my glasses. I have not saved yet. We just started. Cove squeaked out a nervous giggle. He curled his hand into a loose fist and brushed the knuckles idly against his cheek. Words evaded him as he opened his mouth and closed it again. I don't... He gave up finishing the sentence, instead just smiling again. He rubbed his eyes with the heel of his hands. It was an action usually reserved for much later in the day, but at this point, it already felt like a long day. Damn! How draining was that fucking kiss? Cove then pressed a hand to his creased forehead.
Oh my god.
Does this mean I'm your boyfriend or something now? Should we tell our parents? I don't know what Dad or Mom would do. Probably embarrass you somehow like all parents do when their kids date. There are a lot of concerns in there. You honed in on the simplest. There was no way your moms would let you have a boyfriend. Even though that word juxtaposed with Cove's name made your heart race. Yeah, they're just blue light reading glasses. It helps my headaches. Yeah, it helps with my headaches so that, you know, when I stare at a computer for long periods of time, my eyes don't, like, burn out of my sockets. My parents won't let me have a boyfriend or even a something. What shape are they? Let's see, they're, I guess, rectangular? Like, they're big and dorky. Like, I look really bad in them, actually. They're not even cute. Like, even when I put them on the bridge of my nose, they're not even a little cute. They're also always fucking greasy for some reason. I don't even... They're like a dorky frame. Like, the classic dorky glasses look. where it's like straight on the top and like really round on the bottom, and they're huge. They're enormous on my tiny face because I have a very small head for my very small brain. Wow, you make me sound sexier than I actually am with the classic secretary look. I am flattered, really. But it's more like the dorky shut-in. Like, picture this. I'm wearing my gamer headphones. I've got my blue light glasses on. They're enormous on my fucking face. I am enshrouded in a bathrobe, in sweatpants and a tank top. In my computer chair in front of my stream. Yeah. I mean, at least I'm skinny. All right. Let's see. I wish we were older. It's okay. It doesn't matter. We like each other, and that's what's important. Nothing anyone else thought about your relationship changed what it was between the two of you. Cove lifted his hand from his chest and reached toward you, halting halfway, then slowly, cautiously, hooked his fingers around yours. Oh my god, we are holding hands, chat. This is not a drill. We are holding hands. We are on, like, second base. We are holding hands. Let's see. My description fits your close friend, though she would tear you to shreds. I don't know. Depends. Does she like you even a little bit? For that kind of flirting? You let it... You held it... duh, we're gonna hold hands. Oh, hell yeah. Giving that love back. Thank you so much, Starburst. I'm a fab queen. You all are fab queens? Fab kings? Don't underestimate yourself. Retcon 3. Oh god. You rotated your hands so you were palm to palm with Cove. Your thumbs crossing one another. Oh my god, we are having like hand-holdy intercourse right now. We can get it to work. We always figure things out, sooner or later. A budding relationship! Oh my goodness! Thank you for the booples. Thank you so much for the booples. You're right, no matter what, it's okay in the end when it's just the two of us. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us. Your forthright statement made Cove gasp. But the smile that followed and his tighter grip on your hand told you he had appreciated it. Hey, Bika! Cove! Oh, thank you for the head pat, Shadow Killer. My hand is not getting violated! Look. It's hand-holdies. I'm in full consent of this hand-holding session, okay? I might get pregnant, but that's okay. I accept responsibility for what may happen from this hand-lacing, hand-holdy intimate session. The sudden call from downstairs caught you unaware. You nearly forgotten the world outside your room. From the guilty look on his face, Cove had done the same. Just had a call. Cove's mom is ready to go. If you're quick, she might keep the mandated motherly smothering to a minimum. Wear gloves for protection. Even if it's a quickie, wrap that sticky. You doubted that, but it was nice that Mom and Miss Priest had their strange sense of humor in common. Your eyes met Cove's. Wordlessly, you headed downstairs together. Doing the expressions in the text while reading anything is such a mood. It really is. I love doing it. Our child is gonna be a great swordsman but a terrible navigator. Oh, hell yeah, especially if it takes after me. I need a GPS pretty much everywhere I go. No lie. It's like, even if I know exactly where I'm going when I'm driving, it is like my emotional support GPS. I need to have it on. I need to at least have it get me there until I realize where I am, and then I turn it off. Like, it's my emotional support GPS. Each step of the way, there was a painfully slow... What? Each step on the way, there was... Each step on the way there was painfully slow, like he was trying to delay the inevitable. His whole body tense leaving the house, and Cove froze altogether before you both could cross the street. The door's open. Dad must be taking your stuff out. He swallowed hard. She's gonna really leave. Let's see. This isn't the last time you'll ever see her. I know, but I got used to having her here. Yeah. It was hard to think of a world where you didn't have both of your moms living at home with you, so you can imagine how hurt Cove must have been feeling knowing his mom was leaving. Our boy needs some water. Look at his pecs. Way too marked. Oh my god. Look, maybe he had a Look, maybe he's recovering from a bodybuilding contest. Like, his arms don't look as toned. His arms don't look as toned. That's a scar right there, even though it looks like a vein, kind of. But, you know, maybe it's just, like, starting at his arms, and it will go to his chest eventually. Maybe his legs look really, like, ripped right now. Who knows? I don't know. Let's hope he doesn't skip leg day. He thought you saw his bottom lip quiver just before he turned his head away from you. We don't have to head over if you don't want to. He's avoiding arm day. How the fuck do you avoid arm day while working on your pecs? How do you do that? Because, like, you still have to... Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you still have to, like, lift stuff to work your pecs. Or at least, like, do stuff with your arms, as far as I know. At least the exercises I've done, I don't know. How the fuck do you work only your pecs and not your arms? That doesn't make much sense to me. I feel like it's all it's too connected. I feel like your arms would at least be, like, a little bit toned. Spam push-ups? Maybe? Like, really quickly? Maybe? Wait, maybe he's using his legs to work his chest. How the fuck do you... Starburst, how the fuck are you using your legs for your chest? Sit-ups? Sit-ups don't... I don't think sit-ups work your pecs. I mean, I'm not super knowledgeable about exercise, but I'm pretty sure that's not how sit-ups work. No, it'll be worse if I miss her leaving. Okay. At that, some other conflict wearing on his face eased a bit. Not sit-ups, but... No. Together, you went across the street and inside his house, finding his parents in the living room surrounded by his mom's packed things. Hey, kids. Good timing. I just called the taxi. Hi. And hi, Hibika. So glad I got to see you today. It was fabulous getting to know you this summer. Finally, I got to put a face to the name I've been hearing so many times. She winked and Cove pounded on cue over the teasing. Let's see, I really want there to be an option that says, by the way, I kissed your son. Let's see, I hope you had a good time visiting. I'm happy I got to bye. I hope you had a good time visiting. I really did. Thank you. Nodding, Kyra turned her attention back to her boys. She patted Cliff on the arm with a warm smile, and then she enveloped Cove in a crushing hug. Initially, Cove squirmed to break free from her grip, but his mom was unfazed and kept him locked in place. Bye, bitch! Heartbeats later, he gave in and hugged her back tightly.
I'm so glad.
I'm so happy this trip was a success. Yeah, that's his mom. That's his mom. Cliff looked like he was bursting with pride. Well, not a 100% success, but still a passing grade, I think. Thinking back on everything that happened this summer, he started to look sheepish. Cliff scratched the side of his head, and an awkward chuckle escaped Cove. There were ways it could have gone smoother, I'm still keeping that in mind for the future.
Alright.
Good for you, Cliff. I'll be trying harder to stay more in the loop. You watched as Cove smiled softly at both of his parents, and you felt relieved seeing how much the whole family had come together since you first met them. Despite any underlying troubles, love was still there. How old is Cove and how old is Mom? Let's see, I forget. We're definitely young teenagers here. We're young teenagers here. I don't know how old his mom is. Probably, she looks like she's in her late 30s. I don't know. After that, it wasn't long before the taxi arrived, rolling up in front of the house and in clear view of the open door. Kyra stood up, smiling sadly. Well, that's my ride. High school is probably 7. I think they're like 16 here. I think they're 16. Yeah. The matching reply got a chuckle of Kyra as you all filed out of the house. Father and son went with Kyra's bags in hand. Oh, yeah. That's actually touched upon. That was touched upon last episode. Is when we found out that, well, not found out, but we knew we were adopted. But they touched on, like, the history of our parents, and both of our parents are apparently, dead. So, once outside, you spotted your family waiting by the street, and to your surprise, Derek was also with them. He stood uncomfortably, and he waved as soon as you noticed him.
What's up?
Hey, Hipika. Hi, Cove. Dad looks even younger. She looks 30 at the moment. Look, she could be 35. She could be 35. When did you get here? My dad dropped me off just a little bit ago. Thought I could visit one more time before school started.
Sorry.
You picked a busy time. Sorry. Derek couldn't even look at Cove. He nervously kept rolling a pebble with the bottom of his shoe.
Sorry.
I wasn't even thinking that your mom would be leaving today. Sorry, dude. What? You're not interrupting anything. You're always welcome here. Am I gonna change the stream title? I mean, they just kissed. I didn't know they would kiss, like, in the first 5 minutes. Look. I'm not changing the title, though. I'm not changing the title. I like the title. Yeah, the title is perfect just the way it is. Just like you are. And you. All of you. My entire chat. All of my lurkers. All of my followers, subscribers, all of you. Every single one of you. Born perfect, just the way you are. What? You're not interrupting anything. You're always welcome here. Cove's parents aged like Benjamin Button. Oh, it's Scrungle time. Whee! Scrungle time. Scrungle! Yes! Yes! Rise up, Scrungles. Rise up. Rise up. Aw, thank you, Shadow Killer. It would have been sad if I didn't get to say goodbye before leaving. Derek came to hang out often, so it was inevitable that the two had met at some point in the season. I think so too. It was apparent Derek would have preferred to have gotten there at a more opportune moment. He never liked seeming impolite, but their reassuring words soothed his worries. The tension he was holding in his body lessened, and he looked like he was feeling much more like himself. Bye, Bye, Derek. It was fun getting to know you. Bye, ma'am. Is there anything I can do to help? Your eyes just popped out for a section. Huh? Who is what? Who are you referring to? Nah, don't worry yourself over that. We're just about set. In that short amount of time, Cliff had gathered and packed the bags into the trunk. Kyra took one last look at everyone inside. Yes! That is Cove's hot mom. That is Cove's hot mama. Like, look at her. She hot. She hot as fuck. Alright. I don't want to keep the driver waiting. It's time to head out. I'm blocking your view. I'm so sorry. I really don't want to move because I'm in the perfect... Everyone's hot. Everyone's hot in this novel. It's just... There are no ugly characters. Everyone's hot. Oh, thank you for headbats. Thank you. Also what? Dog in chat. I'm a lion dog. I'm not dog. I'm not lion, but lion dog. You're surprised they're divorced if they both look like that. Well, Shadow Killer, when it comes to relationships, it is more than just the way you look. It's definitely so unfair. I need some Repros uglies. Oh my goodness, I doubt you're ugly. You're not in chat, you're the streamer. What? What? Sorry, I had to sip my tea. What was I saying? Oh, yes. But yeah, it's more than just looks in relationship. Lion dog and stream not in chat. Oh. I mean, I could be in chat if I really wanted to be. I could chat in my own screen. In my own screen. In my own stream. I've done it before. Oh, the wowie. The little crap. Yeah, it's about emotions and relationships. Yeah, it's definitely more than just looks. You could, listen, you could be the most beautiful boy blast and bully blast. You could be the most beautiful person on earth, but if you have an ugly personality, God, it's gonna end terrible. I can shout at my own screen. Yeah, me too, watch me. She's so big now. Yeah, Wooly is huge. I really need to make an upgraded Wooly emote, don't I? It's just every picture I take, I look at it and it doesn't seem memeable. I don't know. Maybe I'll post some pictures of her in the, maybe I'll post some pictures and you guys can vote on what the next, no upgrade? Well, no, I'm not gonna replace it. I'm not gonna replace the emote. I mean, like, she's gonna be leveled up. Like, it's the step up. Where she's just like a little ball. Yeah, Woolly Pollution. But yeah, I gotta look through my photos and maybe I'll post some in the Discord and you guys can help me pick. And I'll make a new emote. Easy peasy, new emote. The little crowd that had formed around started their course of farewells and well wishes traveling. But Kyra still made no move to get into the taxi. She placed her attention on Cove. I'll call when I get to the airport, and when I make it to Nevada. Yeah, this bitch lives in Nevada. Also, you better call the moment you walk in at the door at home, otherwise we'll be wondering all night. They definitely, listen, they definitely boned. They definitely boned while she was here. Do we know why they're divorced? It doesn't say. I wonder if we'll learn later, but I'm gonna chalk it up to they just had disagreements. But it hints to the fact... It kind of hints to both of them. Where, like... His dad is very, like, he constantly tries to assume what people want. And she didn't like that he always assumed what she wanted and tried to make her happy all the time. With things that she didn't want in the first place. And that can cause issues in the relationship because you assume what your partner wants, but you're not giving them what they need or giving them what they actually want in the relationship. So that can definitely cause a divide. And I guess it just got so bad after a lot of miscommunication of feelings that they decided to split. That is what I've deduced. That is pretty much what I've deduced from the story. The way they're divorced but still playing jump on the bed, I have no idea. I don't know where she sleeps at night. I'm just saying, like, she's been here for a hot minute. They're both, like, it's hard not to believe that they at least had, like, one rebound session or something. Especially since he's, like, still cares about her. They are rekindling. Oh boy. As long as they rekindle in a healthy way. Those expressions do say, yeah, we boned, so what? Refiring a dying star? Not a dying star. Oh dear. Also, okay, yep, he still worries about her too. I can do that. And could I call you tomorrow too, so I can tell you how school went? Of course! I want to hear all about it! Kyra put a hand on Cove's head and affectionately ruffled his hair one last time. She then let go, only to move on to squeezing his cheeks in her hands instead. Mom! I love you so much, baby! She was chuckling by the time she freed him, and rounded things off with a small tap to the tip of his nose. Cove rubbed at his face with a grin. Finally, she walked to the car while waving, and took her seat in the taxi. Cliff hooked an arm around Cove's shoulder, kept him close as it began to pull away. For a moment, Cove looked up at his dad, then wrapped an arm across his back.
Bye.
Bye, Mom. Bye. Travel safe. Kyra rolled down the window and stuck her head out of it. She waved again while blowing kisses at Cove and Cliff. See you again! Before she was out of sight, you decided to wave goodbye, watch quietly, and we'll call out. BRB, getting something to eat. Awesome. Make sure to share. As you added your voice to the others, you watched Kyra's smile grow larger. The cab turned down another road and completely disappeared from view. Cove let go of his dad and took a few steps out into the empty street, still looking in the direction his mom. Oh, yes, they definitely boned. There's something there. There's something sweet and almost kind. He smiled quietly, deep in thought. You got the impression Cove was feeling better than he was earlier. He was finally content with the way things were. Oh, it's our mom. One of them, anyway. You jumped a bit when your mom put a hand on your shoulder, pulling you away from your thoughts. She smiled when you looked at her. This was a great vacation, huh? Oh my goodness, imagine having to sleep while hearing some jumping on the bed in the next room. That's why you gotta do it quietly, or get a Tempur-Pedic mattress, goddamn. Unfortunately, I didn't have that luxury with my parents. My parents were too loud, and I'm traumatized. Let's see. Summer isn't over until the second I fall asleep, I don't know. You shrugged, you nodded. Summer isn't over until I fall asleep. No naps for you then. Can't risk you accidentally ending summer a few hours too early for the rest of us. Chuckling, you shook your head amused. Cove walked back over to the group, still genuinely happy. Derek grinned at him welcomely, and everyone else there smiled at him, even Elizabeth. Well? Ma clapped her hands together, bringing everyone's attention back to the present. It's almost lunchtime. I think I'll put together something special. Her eyes sparkled with a plan, and Mom smiled. I bet you could use some help with that. That'd be absolutely wonderful. Guys, no boning in the kitchen. I walked in on it last time. I don't want to see that. Derek glanced between the two, his eyebrows furrowed. Let's see. A light? Could you imagine, like, the mom's... What the fuck? Can I imagine, like, Mom's smile just cracks and gets bigger and bigger, it becomes a horror game. What the fuck? Why would you put that image into my head? That's fucking dastardly, girl. Is there something I could do? Your mom's exchanged a fond expression. Ma shook her head.
How sweet.
That's very sweet, Derek. But it's alright. It's not your job. Technically, your dad left you under Cliff's watch. You're meant to be taken care of by him, not doing chores for the neighbors. Mom laughed a little over her own joke. You watched Derek look away, discouraged.
It's okay.
It's okay. I don't mind. He was a little bashful about it. You wondered if Mom's joke had just reminded him that he wasn't initially meant to be invited to lunch. He was just getting a little awkward. Mom grinned sympathetically. Her comment was meant to lighten the mood, not bring it back down. Mom tried again to get things moved forward. She smiles like a horror game character. No, she doesn't. It's a nice smile. Why is everybody picking on her? Why don't you kids go have fun? You can come back in about an hour. We'll make enough for everyone. Mom nodded in agreement.
Sounds good.
Another stunning idea, Lonnie. Are you talking about her smile? I mean, I guess. It's probably because she's facing forward, honestly. Not a 3/4 turn.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Ugh. That sounds like a plan then. I don't want to cramp your style. I got some work to work on. I got some stuff to work on, so I can be out of your hair this afternoon. Lights into those monster girls. What kind of monster do you think she is? Come here. Come here to mother. Jaw on hinges and she just consumes. My god, Light. You crazy. I like crazy. You should come by later too. No reason you should be the odd man out. Mom seemed amused as Cliff rubbed his neck nervously. He grinned, wavering, but please smile.
Thanks very much.
I appreciate the invite. He looked over at the assembled crowd with knowing glances. I can help too, with as many people there are. With as many people as you're feeding, that's gonna be a lot of food. Didn't you hear what we told Derek? It wouldn't be fair to make you cook when we're the ones inviting you in. Ma raised an eyebrow when Cliff waved it off.
Come on.
I insist! Derek would be missing time with his pals. This would be a break for me. I'm quite the chef. Ma and Mom exchanged further glances before Mom shrugged.
True.
An airtight argument. If you're sure, we'll be happy to have you, Chef Cliff. Cliff's grin widened and seemed more hyped than you expect him to be about helping with lunch. Cliff shook his head, a fond smile on his face. Let's see, would I rather tell the people next door to be quiet while they're jumping on the bed, or have someone from next door tell you to be quiet while I'm jumping on the bed? I think I would rather someone tell me to be quiet. As long as I'm having sex with somebody else. If I'm fucking, like, schlicking it in the middle of the night and someone tells me to shut up, I'd be fucking embarrassed. Also, I'd be like, how? Because I am the master at being quiet. Then all of us grown-up people will be heading inside. I assume the rest of you kiddos are staying out. Maybe not all of them. Ma tilted her head. A silent question for Elizabeth. Your sister thought for a moment.
Alright.
I'll stay with the kids.
That's fantastic.
That's great. Both your moms smiled at her, while Derek and Cove didn't seem to appreciate her phrasing. But with the plan decided, all three parents waved and headed for your house. It was just you teenagers now. Hey, Sorsha! How's it going? Welcome to the stream. We're playing Our Life. Elizabeth looked at you and the others, a curious expression on her face. So, what now? You silently wondered if Elizabeth only stayed out with you to avoid getting roped into work. Then again, she could just genuinely want to hang out. You can tell with your sister. Let's see. Who would I jump on the bed to the point someone next door asked me to be quiet? What do you mean, who? Ko spoke up after no one else did to answer Elizabeth's question. Oh, it's going fine. I'm glad it's going fine. Fine is better than bad. Wanna go down to the shopping... to blah 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 blah. Wanna go down to the shopping street? It's been a while, and I don't think there's a lot of other things we could agree on. Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Sounds awesome to me. Unlike you guys, I haven't been there 1,001 times. It's new to me. Let's do it! Lego! You strolled across the road as a group, down to the beach, and then to the left. It took less than 15 minutes to arrive. One of the conveniences of Sunset Bird. The four of you looked around at the familiar shops, trying to see if anything caught your attention this time. Derek was the most enthusiastic. He checked out every stall with his eyes, wide with wonder. Elizabeth and Cove were in good spirits as well. That is so cool! He ran over to a street magician, the street magician, who was currently doing a card trick for a group of enchanted tourists. Derek clapped his hands when the magical magician showed a middle-aged man his card. Derek turned back to the group with a curious gleam on his face. What does it take to perform here anyway? Do you have to ask somebody, or do you just show up and start doing stuff? Come on, I must have someone I would like to play Jump the Bed with. I mean, sure, there are... Do you mean like real people or like fictional people? Because there are a lot of fictional people I'd like to jump on the bed with. Who would you even ask? It's a public street. Hey, Miss Mirror, can I pull this rabbit out of my hat, please? Please, Flopsy is well behaved, I promise. What did you miss? What did you miss? I don't know. We're apparently interested on who I would like to have. The guy from What was I talking about? What part did you come into? Derek chuckled, his eyes searching up and down the scene. Oh, thank you for the bubbles. Maybe there's a boss of the shopping street? No one does any of this around my neighborhood. It's just regular stores behind walls. I mean, to be honest, we don't know what the guy from Katana Zero even looks like. What, last sentence? It's different if someone wants a real store. But here, I'm pretty sure people are just putting on their little shows whenever they want and do whatever. Katana Zero's protagonist is pretty hot. We do have official art. Wait. I do what? I'm so confused. That is so neat. Would we be allowed to do something too? I know when the game launches. And also a Steam code. What are you talking about? You know when the game... Oh! Oh, you're so right. I'm so stupid. I do know what the protagonist looks like. I mean, he ain't that bad. I mean, yeah, you know, I would bounce on it. I would bounce on it. Yeah, I would bounce on it, gag on it. Let's see, Cove laughed and Derek began almost vibrating with excitement. Elizabeth rolled her eyes. What would we do? On Katana? Hell yeah. Let me bounce on that bitch. Slice me in fucking half, bro. Fucking literally split me in two. Split my ass in two, stud. Literally. What would we do? Try to go one stream without bouncing on it challenge? What do you mean? You mean mentioning bounce on it? Man, I guess I can't think about dick then. You know, it's really funny because I rarely find guys attractive. I rarely find men attractive. But like I talk about dicks so much. Like there's so many women that I would just be like, oh, okay. tonight, right now, me and you, on the bed, now. But then it's like, I'm really picky with men. I'm really picky with guys. Well, I don't know what. Not yet. I mean, I just found out it's a possibility, you know? But there's gotta be something. You know, bisexual represent. I'm actually pansexual. I'd like to have sex with kitchen appliances and other pans and pots and things. Let's see, I thought it was a great idea. Try the idea on his own. You thought Derek needed to abandon that idea stat. Let's look at the other two. Derek continued to brainstorm out loud about different potential performances while you glanced over at Cove and Elizabeth. Pan is cool. Yes, Pan is cool. I am attracted to folks no matter what identity they wish to represent. Are you male? Are you female? Are you somewhere in between? Are you not human? Perfect! I mean, I can bounce a soccer ball on my head. The last time I tried, I got 8 bounces before it fell. I wouldn't bring a ball here. Oh, I wouldn't bring a ball here.
Why?
Why not? Cove gestured to everything around, the stalls, the people, all the colorful chaos that made up the shopping street. Would you want to chase a lost ball here? And what if you hit somebody? Even if you're good, somebody else could bump into you. That's true. Derek thought about it some more. Then he watched another performer, a woman doing tricks with 2 small dogs. One was fluffy and cream-colored, while the other one was a cool gray. The woman held up rings. Both animals jumped through the openings, happy to receive a treat at the end. Derek brightened. Maybe I'll teach crabs how to race. You lied. You got 2. How many bananas do you plan on eating tonight? Okay, that's where the face hugger from Alien? I don't think I actually... You into some freaky stuff, Andy. Crabs? It could work. With some amusement, the gang continued to peruse the stalls. Elizabeth found some earrings with a dangling, badly misprinted globe that everyone laughed at. The Cove picked out the imposter. Are you talking about the imposter from fucking Among Us? I mean, that tongue is hella long. That tongue is pretty long. I'm not... I mean, okay. I'll hear you out. I'll hear you out on that one. Cove picked out a blob as Iceland, but Derek thought it had to be Greenland. Let's see, apparently there is a official, official bill put out where Trump is renaming fucking Iceland. And on the official statement, they're going to rename it Red, White, and Blue Land. That is some of the craziest shit I ever heard, but honestly, it's believable. You know, this is a world with what looks like 9 continents. I think you're both wrong. Let's see, I want to decide if... Let's see. Let's agree with our sister. Elizabeth makes a good point. Suddenly, Cove froze. You stared at him, then tried to see what caught his attention. When you saw a familiar face on the way, it all made sense. Between the crowds, his bright hair stood out like a neon green ball in the kitchen sink. Oh my god, why'd you gotta do him dirty like that with his bowl cut? Jeremy slowly drifted his eyes down the street. His eyes widened in mutual recognition. He definitely noticed you. Derek frowned and Cove sighed. Neither of them were happy to see him again. Or we could just not approach each other. Sparkle time over. Let's see. Decided to... Let's see. No, I wasn't gonna go beyond that bill. I just thought it was funny. I'm not gonna talk shop here. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna talk shop. There are no opinions expressed here. Whether he was serious or not, that doesn't say anything to pass as a bill or anything close relating to politics. Yeah. But you're right, it is my stream, but I won't get heavily into politics here. Nope. Little funnies here and there, possibly. Sorry, I'm stretching. Little funnies here and there, but I'm not gonna get deep into it, don't worry. But if anything of what I say makes people uncomfortable, they are free to do as they please. But politics isn't something I wish to get into anyway. Let's see. Wave to Jeremy. Let's smile at him. He just looked dismissive. Oh no. Elizabeth raised an eyebrow. Her gaze swept over Jeremy without a hint of a clue. Jeremy simply scoffed to himself and waded deeper into the crowd of people. Derek relaxed and exhaled loudly. I'm glad he's not going to start anything. Let's see. Much not care about that or him, you're still wondering who's this redhead. The one behind you. That is our sister. So we are adopted. And we have our sister, me, and then the two moms. See? That was the mean kid.
What?
Huh? She still didn't get it. That first summer day hadn't made nearly as much of an impression on her as it did for Derek. But he smiled and waved it off. Yay, two moms! Yes, two mothers. Two mothers. Just forget about him. I already have. He laughed, and Cove smiled lightly. He seemed in a much better mood now that Jeremy was gone. Your eyes wandered over to where Jeremy disappeared. You hadn't forgotten the day that you met him either. He was only going to be in town for vacation with the parents he hated. That glimpse was probably the last time you would ever see him. Let's see. We'll mention it. Jeremy's probably gone for good now. It's time for him to go back from wherever he's from. Oh, that was a mean spirit. I didn't know it was gonna be super fucking mean about it. Yeah, guess we won't have to worry about that guy anymore. Which one is mother and which one is mother? So, mom is the redhead, and then Ma, spelled M-A, is the one with dark brown hair. Derek kicked a little rock in the road. It clattered forward and then rolled under a stall. But I still think it's kind of sad Jeremy turned out to be, well, like he is. Would have been nice to make another friend. I bet we could have. I bet we could have made a new friend. Cove shook his head. He was clearly not broken up about what might have been. Or maybe it could have been. Maybe he was just, you know, some kind of antagonist in a way. Let's see, good riddance. Think I might want to see him again sometime. Maybe he'll be nicer in the future. I'm happy it's over. Maybe he'll become nicer. I don't know. Elizabeth rolled her eyes at the strange farewell to the odd boy. Not interested in the slightest. She clearly didn't understand his impact, and at this point, she didn't want to understand. You couldn't help but wonder, though. What would have happened if you would have interacted with Jeremy more? Jeremy was unlike anyone you had met before. You thought he was horrible, you thought he was weird, stupid, kind of pitiful. You thought he was kind of okay. I don't think I know what to... Honestly, I don't think I know what to think about him. You and the group moved on from the stall, and from Jeremy. It didn't take long for everyone to return to the joking. You all enjoyed what little time you had left. As Elizabeth mentioned, the hour was almost up. You're lost. What happened? Okay, so what happened was we're at the shopping district. We met I wouldn't say acquaintance either, but there was a boy who was really mean to us, like in the previous episode. And we were just saying, like, that basically that was the last time that we were gonna see him and what we thought of him. Did chat censor your last message? I have no idea. But I do read good riddance. Come on, guys, let's get going so we can eat. I'm starving. Can't wait. Let's see. Homeward bound. Here we go. Cove stretched one of his arms lazily. Let's go then. He looked at him appraisingly. You asked Cove to carry? You asked Cove to carry me back to the house. Carry me. Hey, Cove. Yeah? Could you carry me back home? I just wanna watch him. I just wanna watch him squirm. I just wanna watch him squirm. What? What? Cove turned red, obviously flustered. Explain to them. Is he actually gonna give us a ride? Let's see. Decided to... A special occasion, I didn't want to walk back. I want a piggyback ride. Is he actually gonna give me one? Is he gonna give me one? I want a piggyback ride, and you're the only one big enough to give me one. Well, I would pick princess style if it was... I love being carried princess style. Speaking in real terms, I love being carried like a princess. I love it. I love it so. I want to be carried like a princess. Cove sighed and shook his head. Elizabeth and Derek had become a chorus of laughter. Come on, Cove, it'll be fun. Oh, this is mean. This is mean. Oh, but he's smiling. He likes it. Cove stepped over to you. He looked like he couldn't believe what he was doing. Your lips quirked into a large smile. Yeah, thanks. I feel like that's not an appropriate reaction. He carefully crouched down in front of you so you could climb on. It took a bit of clambering to get yourself completely up on Cove's back. However, when Cove slipped his arms under your legs and stood up, you felt very secure. Elizabeth watched with a smirk on her face while Derek laughed even harder. Ah! Thank you! Elizabeth watched with a smirk. It was fair to say that your antics were entertaining. You were glad Cove went with it. Maybe that awe was more endearingly. I think so. Cove carried you home, but he seemed pretty bashful about the situation. He struggled with how much to grip around you and whether or not he should try to reposition things. Oh, I see those hearts! I see those hearts! Thank you! Thank you! my little YouTube folks. But along with all that, he also seemed to feel some pride carrying you. It was pleasant to walk home, and in no time he had made it back. Derek got to the front door and held it open for everyone as you mosey inside. The three parents were still in the kitchen. They looked up and waved. Am I still piggyback? Welcome back, everyone. You made it just in time. I hope you're hungry. When Cove had brought you inside, the parents couldn't help but notice the odd conveyance. Your moms were unsure, and Mr. Holden raised an eyebrow. Did you pull something, Hibika? I'm okay. Oh, they see the piggyback. They see it. They see it. You remember when you and the boys mounted piggyback while jousting with the handled brooms? Aw, that's kind of cute, though. That's kind of cute. Yes, these are my mamas. These are my mamas. Oh, never mind. Her hair's not brown anymore. It's purple. And her hair is like a reddish brown. So this is Ma, and this is Mom. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream, Shadow Killer. Aw, Cove, you've gotten so strong. And reliable too, what a guy. Cove rolled his eyes at the commentary, then started walking to your couch. He bent down and you let yourself plop back onto the couch. Thanks for the lift. Cove exhaled loudly and shook out his arms. He just seemed relieved that he made it. Alrighty. Alrighty, Shadow Killer. Thank you for coming. So, did everyone have a nice time out? She gestured for people to take a seat at the table. Plates and silverware had already been placed out. You took your normal seat. Elizabeth sat across from you, and Derek took the seat to your left. Cove said on your right. But he blushed a little and began fidgeting with his silverware. His dad was the first to pick up on his extra awkwardness, but your moms weren't far behind. Wait, whose house? This is my house. This is my house. Our house. In the middle of our street. Our house. In the middle of our street. Our house. Filled with gay moms and just me. Just kidding. I have a sister as well. Parents shared looks at Ko's reaction. It seemed that he was struggling with how to act normal around his dad or your parents. Or both, after what happened between the two of you upstairs.
Yeah.
Oh, his dad is in our house because he was helping my moms with cooking. Because while we were out shopping, they were cooking dinner. And that's why we rushed back to the house, and that's what we're doing now. We're all having dinner together. Oh yeah, we had a great time. Right. It was fine. I had fun. I really liked it. Yeah, the bank heist went off without a hitch. I really liked it. That's good in my book. Casually, Mr. Holden sat in the empty seat across from Cove. He smiled at you and all the other kids. Mom set down a platter full of water glasses on the table. She looked down at the gathering. It's a good thing we have 8 chairs. I can't remember the last time we had a group this big over for a meal. Can you pass the drinks down to the other side? Make sure you all get one. Sure. Those close to the cups obliged and started offering waters around. As you passed Cove his drink, your hands touched. Cove froze. You had already let go, not yet realizing that he was too distracted to function in that moment. The glass fell down to the table, landing with a sharp clatter of glass on wood. Cove scooted his chair back with a strange shout. Why is my boy screaming? Why is my boy screaming? I'm sorry. I'll get a towel. I'll get a towel or something. He looked around in a frantic panic, as if an object to soak up the water would magically appear if he turned his head fast enough. His dad bit his lip in worry, rising from his own seat.
Well...
Cove? What's going on? You've been a little out of it today. Did something happen? Cove tensed, frozen again. He stared at the water on the tabletop, as if he wanted to sink into it. Oh my god! I could just accidentally blurt it out! Oh, the drama! The tea! The tea! Let's see. You admitted what had happened between the two of you. They had to find out sometime. You blinked on. You spoke up to cover Cove. Blurt, 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 blurt. We kissed. We kissed. He spilled it out without a thought, like the water that spilled before. Cove gasped and his hand shot up to cover his quickly darkening face. It was silent as everyone processed. Blurt is me, I am Blurt. It was silent as everyone processed. Silent. Excuse me. Both Mom and Ma started to laugh, and that snapped people out of their surprise. Mr. Holden slapped a hand over Cove's shoulder. Congrats. Cove flinched at the touch, but still said nothing. His hands might have well been glued to his head. Elizabeth shook her head, and you can hear her, "Can you believe this line?" in the motion. He really is your special boy. Derek grinned at you, and Cove, even if he couldn't see, he was at least happy for you. He at least was happy for you. Now, I'm sure we all knew this was coming sooner or later. I had hoped you could have waited a couple more years, but what can you do? At least she's understanding, I guess. It's a wonderful thing that you both like each other. But Mom is right that you're both young. We'll just have to chaperone you if you ever want to go on dates. Oh, gross. Why?
Nice work.
I'd be happy to help with that too, whenever it's needed. Cove creakily fell back in his seat. His hands hadn't moved. While his expression was readable, the color of his skin had reached extreme red. He crashed forward, his head smushed to the table surface, somehow curling up even more from his embarrassment. Isn't that still wet? No response was given. At least with his hands there, his face should have been somewhat protected from the water. Let's see. I was also feeling embarrassed, felt bad, felt good. Let's see. I feel like I would also feel embarrassed. I would be, well, I mean, I guess they're making a big deal about it because they are young. I think they're supposed to be like 16 or something. I don't know. It's still, also I think it's a big thing because we kind of blurted it out without warning. Like no date or anything, just kiss. Just kiss. I mean, the parents, like, let them be. I mean, some parents are more overprotective than others. And I mean, it's not, I guess it's not a big ask, depending on how young they are, to chaperone on the date. You started to shrink inwards toward yourself, feeling a hot blush on your cheeks. This was bad. The parents laughed more, all three of them with wide, beaming grins on their faces. Our families are truly uniting now, then. This will be that the Holden Shisa clan first meal together, or Shisa Holden clan. I'm not sure which has a better ring to it. Derek's eyes were wide, and he kept shooting furtive looks at the door. Apparently, the grown-ups were making this too much even for him. Poor guy, he's like the third wheel. He seemed to be one of the few people concerned for Cove's impression of a withdrawn red-eared slider turtle. Holden Shisa, because it sounded more like Holden Shisa. Yes, hold me. Hold me, I'm small. Hold me in the palm of your hand. Uppies. Up, 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 please. Uppies. Up, up. You good, bro? Derek whispered encouragingly to his flattened friend. Meanwhile, Elizabeth was still unimpressed. And then finally, you heard a squeak. It was Cove. Aw. Please, can we not talk about this anymore? Please. Oh, sure. I think that's enough for now. We've still got to eat lunch after all. Uppies, puppies! Uppies! Uppies, puppies! Food was placed on the table, and Derek started to fill his plate, with the others following suit. Cove sighed quietly as lunch started up in earnest. Mr. Holden gave his son another pat on the back. Cove slowly straightened back up, and you helped him get a towel and clean the water, dripping everywhere at this point. You caught eyes with him, and tried to gauge if he was unhappy with you because of this. Thankfully, he gave no impression of that. The affection he showed back in your room was strong as ever. As everything got set up, Ma chided Elizabeth to take her elbows off the table. Oh, that's giving me flashbacks. And you shouldn't slouch. She pointed to Mr. Holden, who was leaning forward with both arms on the table. Oops. Mr. Holden seemed unsure about all the sudden attention and carefully rearranged his posture to something suitable for a fancy dinner. He smiled sheepishly at Mom. Elizabeth rolled her eyes, and Ma gave a level look at her. You shouldn't be impolite to a guest in the house either. Elizabeth groaned, long-suffering. Ma giggled, and Mr. Holden chuckled. Oh, we were slouching on her earlier. Oh my god. They're gay. The moms are gay. For each other. The lot of you could learn a thing or two from Derek. He has the best manners here. Derek blushed, but it was true. His posture was upright and formal. He even held his fork gracefully. Oh, wow. His table manners, on top of all of his attempts to aid your parents, made him the model of meal attendee behavior. It's nothing. It's true, though. You have been a lovely guest. I've noticed that, too. It's always nice when you stay over, Derek. Derek smiled and sat a little taller in his chair. And you do have anything good to say about our other guest? She looked deliberately at Cove with a teasing smirk. Or is there just nothing to say? Well, Cove is my number one, but he still does clean his hands by wiping them on his pants. Oh my god. Lay off him for now. Jesus Christ. Cove frowned at that and absent-mindedly brushed his hands on his pant legs. Your mom's laughed lightly.
There.
Elizabeth, you should know after all these years, Cove is hardly a guest anymore. Cove smiled awkwardly. Thanks. Manners schmanners, who cares? Let's see. Compliment Derek. Joked on Derek. Let's see. I'm not gonna tease Cove because he just... we just teased him for 5 minutes straight. Let's see. Joke that Derek was basically an adult. I could do this. Next time Derek really is gonna stay inside to cook, he practically is a mini adult. If he's joining us grown-ups, then you're gonna have to treat him like one. Okay, so Mr. Suarez, how go your taxes? How go everybody's taxes? Did everyone get their taxes done yet? It's tax season. It's tax time. Derek shook his head and chuckled. Everyone ate their meal together and continued to hang out for the afternoon. After the food, you and the others played a couple of games, talked about plans for the upcoming year. The time passed by quickly, and soon it was time to part ways. Mr. Holden talked to your moms, and Cove drifted over to you, knowing that as soon as his dad finished up, he would be leaving. Practically an adult, but he's an adult. He is actually younger than us, so he might be 14 or something. He might be 14, 15. It'd be cool to stay, but we have some stuff to do before everything closes today.
Okay.
Yeah, bye. Could you move? I need the phone. Cove raised an eyebrow, and Elizabeth impatiently gestured behind him. Cove realized he was standing right in front of where the receiver was placed. Well, don't be a bitch! He sidestepped out of the way and shook his head, clearly thinking Elizabeth was rushing too much. Your sister made a beeline for the phone and started dialing the number of what you figured was one of her friends. Knowing Elizabeth, she was going to be on there for a while. You, Cove, and Derek shuffled closer to the door. It seemed like Mr. Holden was wrapping up his conversation, so everyone started saying their various farewells.
Talk to you later.
See you later, Cove. We gotta do this again sometime. Yeah, see ya. Cove turned to you and smiled slightly. Bye, Hibika. Let's see. Ruffled, nudge, hug. Let's hug. I like hugs. I love hugs. I'm a hugger. Oh, you thought you were talking about his dad. No. No, we're talking about his friend. You stepped forward and spread your arms wide. Cove only had a moment to react before you encircled him in your arms. You're mine, bitch! Trapped. Entrapped. Cove hugged you back tightly, and his chest rumbled as he laughed. His cheeks were slightly red, especially when he looked over and noticed that Derek had watched the whole thing. Derek smiled amusedly. Bear hug, yes. Listen, when I hug like I mean it. If I'm gonna hug you, I'm not gonna half-ass it. I'm gonna go in full ass. Full hug, full bear hug, full ass. No half-assing in this house. Seriously, dude, we all have to hang out later. I'm gonna miss you during school. He offered Cove a high five, and the two boys clapped their hands together. Full ass. Yeah. Full ass. Full ass. Cove and his dad left soon after that. Your parents started cleaning up the house, and Elizabeth was still chatting to her friends on the phone. It was just you and Derek left. He elected to stay inside, in front of the house, to wait for his dad to pick him up. You decided to keep your guest company. Although, he was originally Cove's visitor. A light summer breeze blew through your hair, and Derek shifted his weight from foot to foot. Thanks for waiting with me. He kicked at the ground, distractedly.
Well,
Dad's still gonna be a while. Do you want to go for a walk? Sure, I don't mind. The two of you walked down the street again, just wandering without a destination planned. It was a quiet stroll, too quiet for Derek being the company. You turned to him when you noticed that he wasn't saying a word. That was unusual. Derek always had something he could chat about. You weren't sure if you should ask about it. This romance is missing some love triangles. Well, I believe in the DLC there are more romances, I think. But this is basically just it's a relationship story about you and your childhood friend. You could either be enemies to lovers, you could be lovers all the way through, you could just be friends, it could be a platonic relationship. It's really cool. Somehow you ended up at the old park near the beach. You need drama. The drama is us kissing. The drama is the will they, won't they. Somehow you ended up at the old park near the beach. You glanced over to Derek once more, still expecting him to say something any second now. However, nothing came from him. In fact, that's spice, not drama. I guess you're right. Derek smiled when he realized you were watching. At least his mouth was turned up. There was anything that really felt happy. Excuse me. I didn't mean to yawn. There was anything that felt happy in the expression. He turned away and the smile fell off of his face. What is wrong, boy? His eyes stared intently at the ground, and you raised an eyebrow. Let's see, if you want to talk about something, I'm here. I'm a little sad. It's just, with school starting back up, it's gonna be harder to visit. I'm gonna have homework and clubs and practices and everything else.
sucks.
It really sucks. We go to different schools. His face screwed up and his fists were closed tightly together. This was really concerning him. What if we don't have time? Let's see. We'll make time. We can talk over the phone and have plans for weekends. It'll be okay. Derek looked up at the sky. It was orange and purple with little wisps of clouds that scattered around. A plane flew high with a jet stream trailing behind it. I hope we'll always be friends. No matter what. Even if we don't see each other for a long time. Or if we get really busy. I still hope. He cut himself off and met your eyes. There was something serious to him. Sincerely worried that you'd fall out of friendship. Let's see. We're always gonna be friends. I don't know what's coming. Derek smiled, mostly to himself. He seemed a little more like the usual. Then for sure. We'll have to make the most of next year. Then the year after that. And the year after that. He rambled on for a while about things. We'll just make the most of every year. Right. You smiled, and felt like your friendship was still strong. You didn't spend much longer at the park after that. Derek didn't want to miss his dad, so you both made your way back to the street. After Derek went back home, you decided to settle in for the night. Stretching your arms over your head, you noticed that the living room and the phone were free. We called Lee. Oh! We can call our, cousin. We can call our cousin. He picked up the receiver and quickly punched in the familiar number while going to take a seat on the couch. Soon enough, after explaining the situation to the housekeeper, Lee answered. Hey! Hi, Lee. Can you talk? Definitely. We practically have to. My gosh! Can you believe it's almost time for school to start? What happened to our summer? School starts first thing tomorrow for me. Ew. And I thought starting next week was bad enough. I know, right? She is gorgeous. She looks like a Disney princess. Supposedly, she has a pretty voice, too. Enjoy your last week. Oh, I will. I hope you survive your first day. I'm looking forward to it. Then I have nothing to worry about. You'll have a better chance at surviving. At least summer was nice while it lasted, right? We were busy. Yeah. Fondly, you thought about all the best memories you made this summer. Lee was there for some, but there were still so many you hadn't filled her in on yet. Let's reminisce. You began to speak about? The road trip we took. I went on a vacation. Cove's parents ended up inviting my whole family on an RV road trip.
Really?
Whoa! That's awesome! It was a 3-day trip, and we visited the Redwood National Forest. Lucky! I almost kissed Cove. You what? When? Start at the beginning. Your face immediately felt like it was burning, knowing there was no closing this can of worms. I can't believe you've been holding out on me with such a juicy story. You have to tell me everything. You could easily imagine the large grin that had to be sitting on Lee's face as you began going into every detail on the setup, what happened, and the way that it ended. This was going to be Lee's favorite story for years. You could feel it. I'm so happy for you. That's so funny and really cute. Thanks, but it's not like anything really happened then. That's not what counts. The feelings were there. It was hard to focus on what you were saying. You were distracted just thinking back on that moment. Let's see. Any more moments? Began to speak about. The hot afternoon? The hottest day of the summer. I could barely do anything and had to stay inside the entire afternoon. That's not fun. Learn more about my mom's. Like, embarrassing. Cove was so hot at his house, he bummed up mine. Cove said I was cute. Yes, that one. We were playing Hangman. And that's what he picked for me to figure out. Oh, the audible gasp and my gasp. That's such a move! What did you do? You filled her in as much as you were willing, and she gratefully took it all. Let's talk about her now. What was your big highlight of the summer, Lee? Talking to you was always the best part of my summer. Even though it was a phone call, you just knew that Lee was winking at you. Good, I'm glad you picked the right answer. That had Lee laughing hard for a few moments. Alright, okay. So, a high point for me was when I took a trip with my parents to Europe. That was amazing. You and Lee continued to go over your adventures until you were both yawning to each other over the phone. Let's see. Oh, yes! This one! There was a pause of silence. Knowing your cousin, you decided to pull your ear away from the phone. As expected, a screech loud enough for you to still make out clearly from a distance crackled through the speaker. When you felt it was safe, you pulled the phone back against your head. Lee was still gushing to herself, though a little less loudly. Why didn't you say so sooner? He had to kiss you back, right? You two are the most perfect pair ever! Tell me, please! You used the precious little time you had left to try filling her in as best as you were capable in that moment. But soon, the approach of curfew became too much for you to ignore, despite how excited the both of you were. At that, you decided it was time to say goodbye for now. And you did have school to wake up for in the morning. Bye, Lee. Night, Hibika. Talk to you later. You left the phone on the side table for now. Looking at the clock on the wall, you saw there was only about 10 minutes until your mom would be insisting you had to go to bed so you could be rested enough for school. You stretched your legs out on the couch and sighed in defeat, watching the minute hand change 1 minute closer to bedtime. You rearranged yourself, feeling restless, and looked out the window. Startled initially, you spotted a figure out in the hills. It was Cove. When surprise faded, you realized it wasn't that much of a shock at all. It was exactly something Cove would do. I smacked the window. Left him alone, ran off to go see him. Let's see, went outside, opened the window. Let's not call out. Left him alone. Let's go outside. Strolling casually, you went over to the front door. When you arrived, you noticed how many fireflies were out that night. They drifted along lazily, barely minding your presence as you waded through to reach the top of the hill. Cove turned towards you as you approached, and you noticed right away that Cove looked happy to see you. Hey, you had a bounce in your step. You weren't sure how long you'd get before your mom's roped you back inside for bed. Hey, what are you doing out here? Nothing, not really. He shrugged, seemed unhappy with his own answer. You stared at him, waiting for him to continue. Well, I guess I was feeling kind of weird about stuff. Let's see. You wonder if this game has a grand decision you have to choose at the end, which is really important, and lets you make a big left and change the outcome completely. I wonder, though I'm pretty sure I think this is just going to go pretty linear. The base game is pretty linear. It's the DLC that has, I think, more choices and more characters. Let's see. You should really go to sleep. I know how you feel. Let's see. I know how you feel. It's hard to stay still. Tomorrow's gonna be the start of a new year. At the mention of school, a small noise escaped him. Cause, like, you left him alone. That's super mean. I don't think it would be mean, because he didn't know we were there. And leaving him alone to his thoughts is kind of it's a valid move. Maybe he would like to be alone, but we know he's happy to see us, so that's why we went outside. Cove let himself fall back onto his butt, then all the way down, so he was laying on his back. He looked up at the sky. Let's see, he sat on the grass, stood there. You sat on his chest! What the fuck is this answer? What is it? Bro. Okay, sure, I'll take it. He had made himself a pretty available seat with the way he was laid out. You plopped yourself square in the middle of his torso. Hibika. He jolted up in surprise, though couldn't get far with you on top of him. He plopped right back into the grass. With a huff, he gave up, being shocked. Fine. Wow, he's just gonna let me sit on him. Wow. What a fucking bottom. He snickered in a self-satisfied way. He'd been lost in thought, or was probably waiting for you to situate yourself, but he started speaking unprompted again. Thanks for telling me. Am I just sitting on his chest while we're having a full-out conversation? Serious conversation? Is this how I'm sitting now? This was probably the last thing you were expecting out of him. Cove seemed to pick up on that and stretched his arms out wide in front of him. Total bottom twink. I mean, look at this face. This is the face of a twink. This is where we met, remember? It happened that day. you could recall the sad little boy with a pink cast who you found in this very spot. Felt like a lifetime ago. I kind of have a strange feeling looking at you. Not in a bad way, just thinking about you and then and really seeing you now. It's something. He turned his face away from you. You got the impression he was trying to hide a blush. It was almost unbelievable how much of an impact he made on your life. Just by moving in next door, you couldn't even imagine what your days might have looked like in a world where you hadn't met him. So sorry, but this game's music totally not fits. This music maybe. I mean, I can imagine it's kind of... It's a little silly, I guess, because I'm sitting on his chest right now, but, you know. Cove glanced back at you, waiting for a response, and you had no idea what to say. Cove just stared at you, unblinkingly. What? It's you. Huh? He snickered before answering. He looked thoroughly amused with your reaction. Yeah, this scene's music is for indoors. I pictured like a for this scene, I picture like piano, like really like emotional piano, maybe. That's what you do all the time, so I'm being you. You do that all the time? Let's see. You're stunned he noticed enough to take note of it. There was no response that you could give, but you noticed Cove smiling softly at you. He wasn't trying to be mean with it. Yeah, background beach noises would also work, like just sound effects. That would honestly be really nice for this scene. Honestly, there weren't many people you could think of who could tease you about something like that. Returning his smile, you realized there was no denying that you two have been around each other for a long time. Cove broke the quiet before it could fully settle. Kai Shoji! Hello! It's good to see you. How are you? All of the game songs are named after what I think is the intended mood of the situation. This one is called Smooth. Okay, well that would make sense. Sit on him, Smooth. Hell yes. What? Bro offered me a seat. I couldn't say no. I had to sit on him.
See you tomorrow.
Hey, I'll see you tomorrow. Can you get off my chest now? Yeah, see you then. With a final wave, Cove headed for home. But you stayed there a few minutes longer. Your mind kept going back to his simple statement. See you tomorrow. No matter how much he was changing around you, there were some things in your life that always seemed to remain true. The hills felt warm to you that night. Before you knew it, you were getting comfortable under the covers in your room. Your mind couldn't help but still be buzzing with thoughts about the future. It was hard not to think about Cove. There hadn't been enough time to really figure it all out after what happened between you. You felt excited, nervous, unsure. I mean, honestly, it's exciting. There's little doubt in your mind. Things were moving forward, and you couldn't wait to find out what changes were waiting for you on the horizon. Had to take a sip of my tea. Blech. Man, I sucked in my tea string like a spaghetti noodle. Ooh. Oh, I did it again. There was still a little doubt in your mind that things were moving forward, and you couldn't wait to find out what changes were waiting for you on the horizon. Yum! String, my favorite. Slowly, your eyes grew heavy as you drifted off to sleep, your mind spinning with wishful thoughts. Just eat the tea, full gremlins. Yeah, just eat the tea bag. Listen, put the tea bag in your mouth, add scalding hot water, and that's how you fully enjoy a nice cup of tea. Extra brownie points if you let it steep in your mouth for a little bit before you swallow. Slowly, your eyes grew heavy as you drifted off to sleep, your mind spinning with wishful thoughts. Yeah, that's the grab-and-go version. Yep. Tea, hot tea on the go. No matter what happened next, you could only hope that you would make the most of it. You were ensnared in a dream when a noise from the outside world jostled you. Let's see. Noises happened, you just try to forget it. That's how I usually am in my house, but not in this story. The light clatter continued. Now that you were more alert, you could distinguish it as a light tapping noise. Quiet, slow, but persistent. Each beat was like being poked. You couldn't ignore it. You lifted your head from the pillow and looked for the source. Not much work was needed to puzzle it out. It was from the window. Tap, tap, go with a piece of ass. With that, you knew exactly what it was. From the color of light filtering in your room, it was too early for anyone to be awake, including the sun. It had barely hauled itself out from the horizon. But that didn't stop some people, it seemed. This is still smooth, I guess. I mean, he's in the middle of the night tapping on the glass, so, you know. You sat up in bed and opened the window wide. Cool air, not yet warmed by the day, tickled your face as it pushed into your room. And, just as you expected, there was your neighbor. Crouching on your windowsill, he was fully dressed, but not for school. What the... Damn, I mean, that's pretty smooth to me. He was wearing a wetsuit and a shy smile. Hi, Hibika. You stared back, blinking. So, technically, we won't be back to school for a few more hours. His voice was delicate, yet deliberate, each word a careful explanation. Classes haven't actually started yet, so... Wanna hit the beach with me one more time this summer? Yes! You're crazy, Cove, you're so cute. You gave a decisive nod. Always. His smile widened affectionately. Pretty smooth, and yet the music changed. So sad. What's this one called? It's very upbeat and sweet. You rushed to get changed into something suitable while Cove climbed back down to a ground level. Your limbs still half asleep, struggled somewhat as you attempted to coordinate them into a swimsuit, but you got there in the end. Soon you were tiptoeing out of your front door, clutching a towel. Cove was already there to greet you. Your eyes met. Cove's gaze darted to your destination and back to you. You checked the door was closed, gave him a thumbs up, and the two of you leapt into action. Wordlessly, you began to run down the familiar path ahead. Cove beside you. The thrill of your illicit outing made you want to laugh. Not that you dared if anyone in your family looked out and saw you. Then your summer would be back to being over. This one is called Lovely. That makes sense. I love it. One glance at Cove told you that he was exactly the same, holding back snickers for fear of being heard and caught. The towel streamed out from under your arm like a cape. You were running so fast downhill, and simply keeping your balance and not tumbling down was a real threat. It just wasn't enough of one to make you slow your pace. For every step you took, the beach was a little closer, and the day a little brighter. What lay ahead of you? Woof, 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 woof. What lay ahead for you would arrive, and you were happy to greet it. In between the lions, just in between. I forgot we looked like that. Alright. Let's see, I kind of like the way I look right now. Strands. No, I like that one. That one's cute. Yeah, boy time. Premium, step 3. Everything looks fine to me. Let's see. Change page. I think we're still good. I don't... Yeah, thin lips still. Let's see. Yeah, everything's still good. Oh, I can change my nail length? I can make them long? I didn't know that. Hell yeah. Nail color, red, orange, yellow. Oh, hell yeah. Green, blue. Blue would be cute. Purple, pink. Oh, I can make them pink, purple, pink, black. Thank you for the booples. Black, plain, red. Do you edit Cove or let the story change him for you? I let the story change him. Honestly, I don't really edit him that much. You can even have a nose ring. Red. Red would be cute. Red would be cute for me. Orange, red, plain, black. Purple nails. Purple would be cute too. I also like pink or blue. Oh god, I love colors. I like painting my nails. So I have nails that naturally grow out pretty long. Because they're pretty strong, honestly. Like, I need to paint them, but every time I paint them, it just looks wrong to me. I don't know why. But it always looks wrong to me. Let's see. Red, plain, black. We'll do purple. Well, I like purple. We can always change it later, but purple wouldn't be bad. What's about you recommend for first-time reads? It retains the magic to a degree, and you only get one first time. Yeah, my claws. What color should my claws be? I think yellow is what I have. Let's do orange, honestly. Orange fits. Orange fits me. Change page. Okay, and I think we're all good here. See, eye color red. Yep, we can't change any of that other stuff, so I think we're done here. Let's see, comfort, relax, direct. Oh gosh, should it still be crush? You know, we could jump into love now. Aw. Yes, I have a chubby face. I love my chubby face. I have a chubby face in real life. Because when I go on my jogs, it jiggles. I think I need a bra for my cheeks because of how much they like jiggle. Sometimes when I go down a hill really fast, I hold my face because my cheeks are so chubbies. And it's weird because I'm not really chubbies, but you know, my face is apparently. So when I go down hills, it's just like blah 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 blah, and I'm just holding them. I have to hold them. Nervous, nervous, relaxed, direct. Let's see. I don't know. I feel like we could take a more direct approach to it. We could be relaxed and in love at the same time. Any grandma would love. Oh, trust me, trust me. When my auntie was still here, she would like cup my cheeks and like squish. She would squish them together. And when my grandmas were here, they would pinch them. They would pinch them to death. Okay, I think we're ready. We'll be relaxed and in love. Yes, lots to pinch. Appearance, Cove customization. Personality, appearance, both? Neither. What's neither? Both? Oh, no. Ooh, we're done. We're done. We're done. Since you're romantically interested in Cove, and they're old enough to start being physically affectionate more seriously, you can choose what initiative level he has throughout his step. Making sure the player experiences what they want is important in our life, but always putting your choice first can potentially make a relationship feel one-sided. So, we've added some flexibility in how it works out. Low initiative means that Cove will occasionally ask to touch the main character. And in those situations, there will always be an opportunity to say yes or no. For example, he won't simply lean over and kiss the main character as a greeting or in an emotional moment. Every piece of physical interaction will either be initiated or approved by the player before it happens. Middle initiative means there will be those certain times where Cove requests to touch the main character, many chances to initiate affection on your own, and also he will pretty regularly give affection automatically. One example would be giving the main character a kiss because he is happy, or emotional, or something else. And in other situations, you can choose to not make the first move in order to give Cove the space to be the one to act afterwards. Overall, the love interest can get romantic, but the player's agency will take priority. High initiative includes everything middle does, but it also means the player agency will be reduced to a degree in favor of having Cove give physical affection even more frequently with less prompting. Just a note, I can choose to be in love with Cove, but he won't know until I tell him, which I will get at least one chance to tell him. Okay. Instead of all the major affection-giving situations being led by a choice menu for you to decide on, some will instead be replaced by Cove acting automatically. This level is only recommended if you are very comfortable with physical affection, and would prefer to simply see it happen rather than always holding the reins on it. However, this level is mostly relevant if Cove ends up as your official boyfriend at some point. Situations where high-level initiative makes a difference tend to come up in scenes that are exclusively to being in a relationship. The parts that are also included in the middle initiative, which will be seen whether you're dating or not. Once you pick your level, it can't be changed partway through a step. The choice only comes up at the very beginning of a story section. We hope you enjoy whichever initiative you decide. Initiative is such a loving treat. So, let's see, I think we'll go with middle initiative, just as kind of a middle ground. Woo, here we go. The start of classes ended the relaxed, free days of summer. It didn't take long for you to get back into the swing of the school year routine. Schedules and homework became the new normal. Yeah, Cove won't even have an initiative setting if you picked indifferent, which already is suffer mode. God. Derek wasn't around nearly as much. With school and after-school activities, there weren't as many opportunities for him to take the trip out to your neighborhood. Sometimes you'd hear that he was at training camp or something like that, but you weren't always sure what he was up to. But you still kept in touch over the phone. No, we still kept in touch. He's a cool dude. I'd be friends with him. The Jeremy kid did disappear after that summer, and no one ever heard from him again. Where he went or what he might be up to was a mystery. More summers came and went like the waves on the shore, coming in and out. In your second year of high school, someone new started to visit Sunset Bird. A sunny girl named Terry Brooke. She was a friend Cove made due to them both being ocean-obsessed. Terry was more than glad to befriend you too. Someone close to Cove had to be good company, she felt. You were pleased to get along with her as well. Terry was tight with another girl, who you'd known distantly from school for a long time, Miranda Eckert. You saw more and more of her as time went on, thanks to Terry and Miranda's own outreach. After a while, all of you developed a real friendship together. As for your home life, the Shisas had also had developments. Changing laws and public perception countrywide had made it possible for your moms to openly wear their wedding rings without questions. Though they had a wedding years ago, it was only recently the union was officially recognized everywhere in the US. That was a good day, to say the least. Elizabeth came into her own and stopped being quite as irritable. She no longer worried about perceived childishness as she grew up for real. Aw, thank you for the booples. Woohoo! She didn't mind being called Lizzie again, although most people just use Liz. She eventually graduated high school and moved out to attend college in another state. It was a lot for you to adjust to your older sister being gone. Liz never let you forget her role in your life, though, and kept in touch. So cool and so sad it had to happen like that. Cove's relationships with his family improved over the years. Kyra visited several times after that summer, and things became easier between the two. He was also closer with his dad than ever before. You knew they talked more, and that helped prevent a lot of friction before it could start. However, Cove grew into someone no one would call social, kept to himself, usually. He cared for the few connections he did have, but didn't reach outside them. Cove had shifted from preferring athletics to becoming more seriously studious as the schooling went on. Things had shifted between you and Cove, but in a way that most of you couldn't see. All this time, he wasn't just your neighbor. He wasn't only your friend, or even a guy you were interested in. You were in love with him. You loved Cove. You knew that fact for certain. For certain. There was no one else you held those feelings for. It was strange to look back on it all. The future faded into your present, and then it was simply the past. Even the most fundamental parts of your life couldn't last forever. You felt that most pointedly the day you inevitably graduated high school. It was over, and you would not be going back ever again. From now on, what came next was your choice. You would be directing your own life. That was where you were currently. The summer after school had ended. The first summer of true freedom. Adulthood. It's not true freedom. Kids, it's not true freedom. It is constantly working, trying to earn money that goes to rent and other bills, with just a little bit of money to have fun. What used to be a reprieve from the typical was now going to be your first step into adulthood. One fine summer morning, you took in what had to become a very special scene. The whole family having a meal together. Oh my goodness! Kids? Here? I hope not. I hope not. If you're a kid, you're getting the boot. If I know you're a kid, you're getting the boot. Get out of here, kid. I talk about penis in here. Get out of here. This is no place for you, child. Your big sister Liz hadn't lived at home full-time for a couple of years, but she arrived last week to spend the season here since it was an off semester for her. You watched on as Liz laughed good-naturedly over a comment Mom made. Her Elizabeth-only mindset had only been a phase. Nearly any nickname was welcomed at this point in her life. Strangely, even though she moved away, you lately felt closer to her than you had in a long time. You idly scooped up more of your breakfast and chewed absent-mindedly. Yeah, Liz has one hell of a glow up. She has one hell of a glow up. It's like night and fucking day. You were a pescatarian, you a pollotarian, picky eater, I eat whatever. And then the meal had reflected that, included just about everything your moms had made, though you often made your own food nowadays. With Liz around, though, your parents made even more options than usual. Your sister had been a vegetarian for a while, and they wanted to make sure she had choices too. Oh my goodness, our moms. Oh my gosh. Oh. She looks like my mom. She looks like my IRL mom. Like, she looks like my actual mom. I don't know how to feel. That's what my mom looks like. With the glasses and everything. And the button-up shirt. That's my mom. Conversation had gone on idly, without you fully taking in the words, until your ears were piqued when Ma started on a bit of town gossip. And so, oh, that's how I heard the news. Alright, now stop bearing the lead and tell us, what is this so-called news? Ma giggled as she cast a look across the table, satisfied that she had everyone's attention. Well, it turns out the Donalds won't be renting out the condo up the street as per Sunset Bird tradition for the first time in what's been nearly 2 decades. A chorus of gasps and shocked expressions were had all around. After the initial shock, your eyebrows pinched. Mom may consider them by name, but you and Liz always viewed them exclusively as the mean old couple who would yell at anyone under 25 who crossed their paths. Your ma continued on with the story, spreading strawberry jam over a piece of toast as she did so. They've decided to not take big trips anymore. Friends and family would be visiting them in their home. That's nice for them then. Have a good summer, mean grandparents with no grandkids. Away from us. Kinda sad they can't travel anymore. I hope they're still okay. Finally, like, I don't want to say that. Well, I hope they're still okay, even if they are mean. They've had a very full life. It's nothing to sneeze at. And you've been nice, Liz. You don't want to end up like them, do you? You and your sister cracked smiles at the joke.
Well,
At least they won't be here to yell at my children anymore. Lonnie! And that blunt comment got laughter from all three of you. Engrossed in the conversation once more, you continued the chat with your family until the meal was over. Oh, what's this? Step 3. Third time's a charm. As it went, the food was eaten, the cleanup had to be done. Liz took the role of washing the dishes and passed them to you for drying and putting away. You had a set of cups in front of you that needed to go on the top shelf of the cabinet. Let's see. I'm short. Actually, yeah, I'm short. I'm not like gremlin short, but I'm pretty short. That was simply your lot in life. You'd always been vertically challenged. Damn. Let's see. You felt great about how things were. You hoped things might still grow more. You wished you had stopped growing earlier. You didn't think about it much. You didn't know what to think. I mean, I like my height. My height's fine. Your height was something about yourself that you were always quite pleased with. Gremlin, gremlin, gremlin. Liz shook you out of your internal musing by starting up an impromptu conversation. She seemed to be voicing the thoughts that had been buzzing around her own head. I have to say, going back for another semester this fall is pretty intimidating. You'd think after the first year or two I'd have a handle on things, but no. You stole a glance at her, still placing cups in the proper place. I guess it's only fair. My first round was pretty general classes, and year 1 of my architecture major was the basics. Now it feels serious. I have to actually know some things. The laugh she gave was flippantly airy, but the way she scrubbed at the plates held more force than necessary. I know you can handle it. I think it's cool you want to be an architect. That sounds hard. Let's see, I know you can handle it. How sweet of you to believe in me. Thanks. Your older sister's mouth quirked up into a small smile. I'll be fine, one way or another. Oh, but I'm not trying to scare you away from college. If that's your plan. What is going on with that anyway? Let's see, I've had a solid plan, came to a firm, you have a general idea. Let's see. General idea. General idea. You answered the question as much as you were able and willing to. Liz's smile grew more reassuring as you did. You've made it through 12 years of full-time education already. You got plenty going for you. Sometimes it's still hard to believe your public schooling experience was over. In the end, you graduated. We soared with high marks. You had to work extremely hard. Let's see. You didn't try hard, but made it regardless. You struggled to... We did hard. Yeah, we had to work hard for it. Let's see. And you were going to miss it. Satisfied, leaving off there. Let's see. Just glad it was behind us. I feel satisfied. Because I don't miss high school. High school, like, while I was there, I don't think of high school very fondly. Not like in like a memory way. Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was like the best time of my life either. It had been a familiar and fulfilling part of your life, but you were ready to move on. Liz picked up on the silence her question ended up creating. She decided it was time to make a closing statement on the topic.
You're a good girl.
You're a good girl, Hipika. Do what's best for you, and we'll be here to back it up. Thanks, Liz. At that, Liz happily passed the final dish your way. She waved a soapy, soaked hand as a farewell and moved on to her next task with a cleanup job. You refocused on getting the last pieces put back where they belong. You eventually moved on to a new chore, but that was interrupted by the sound of your cell phone. You're a good girl. Yes, you're a good girl. You guys are all good girls. You guys are all good boys. You guys are good, everything in between. You are just good. I love all my good gasutos. I love all my good gasutos. It was the phone's default ringtone. You had a silly novelty song. You set one of your phone was just set to vibrate. I think at this time I had like one of my beloved songs. Like not something silly, but it was definitely like my favorite song of the week or something. You casually picked it up from the table where you had placed it earlier. The phone was a couple years old at this point, having it been a 16th birthday gift from your parents. They decided on which model to get, but you got to pick the color. It was... Ooh! I get to pick! Mine... Let's see, I'm trying to remember what mine was. I think I always picked... Let's see, at this time, my phone... I think I had an iPhone at that point. I think. I think it was like a coral, honestly. Kind of like this one. Was it a coral? I think it was pink. Let's see, I think it was pink. I kind of want purple, though, for this one. I kind of want purple. Your ringtone is the song Dilemma. And it was just a phone. You didn't do any... It had a spit... I miss... Bring back phone charms. Bring back cases that have phone charm attachments. I miss them. My flip phone back in the day had a phone charm on it. I miss it so much. I miss the danglies. I miss the danglies. Which was? A crystal, a heart, a music note, a cat face, a string of beads. Let's see. The dolphin keychain. Oh, that's cute. You know, then no matter what I do, all I think about is you with a little O. I can't think of the song. Who's it by? I'll look it up later. But this is too cute to I can't. This is too cute. That's too cute. You were pleased when you finally had a prominent place to use the gift. The screen lit up as you gave the little device a swipe with one finger. You were informed by caller ID it was Lee. You weren't surprised. Despite having a busier and busier lives, and not living in the same town, you still had a good relationship with your cousin of the same age. Especially once the miracle of both of you having your own phones actually happened. She got hers first, though. Nelly, Dilemma. I'm sure once I hear it, I will know what it is. Tapping at the accept button, you answered her call. A familiar, bubbly voice came through right after. Hey, Hibika. Hiya. I trust I'm not interrupting anything major. Oh my god, she's so hot. Oh my god, my friend is so hot. Can I romance my friend instead? Can I romance... That's my cousin. That's my cousin. Oh fuck, 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 oh fuck. Only some cleaning around the house. Ignore that statement. Oh, then you're welcome for my call. A distraction from that must have been desperately needed. Yes, thank you, my dear cousin!
My pleasure.
My dear cousin! It's my pleasure. She giggled, and you can hear the jangling of the jewelry. This is cute! You can hear the jangling of the jewelry she must be wearing. Nothing amazing is happening for me either. I'm bored and felt like chatting. My morning shift ended, so I'm free for the rest of the day. Woo! That's good. You were off from your part-time job, you hadn't started... Oh, we're working. We're a working girl. We're a working girl. Like you, Lee had started dipping her cousin hot. Not cousin hot. Cousin hot. Cue the scene where Patrick, like, fawns over the mermaid and goes, "You're hot! You're hot!" Like you, Lee started dipping her toes into the workforce as of late. It made you keeping in touch frequently even more complicated, but you both managed. What about you? It's been pretty normal.
Cool.
Cool, that's you then. So, how's Mr. Cove Holden doing? There was teasing bent to her tone. She was never willing to let up on what was going on between the two of you. But that name was incredibly familiar to your ears. Cove, your next-door neighbor for the past decade at this point. But he was far more than just someone who lived on the same street. You vividly remembered the summer day you expressed feelings for each other as little 13-year-olds. You only got together officially recently. Let's do recently. And you were in love with him, but one thing you had admitted, and you were in love with him but didn't want to talk about that at this point in your life. Let's do this one. Are you even surviving without the boy being 10 feet away at all times? Or is everything right with the world again and he's back? No, Lee, he isn't here. Just like he wasn't here yesterday, or the last time you asked, or the time before that.
Sorry.
Aw, my bad. Can you blame me? Doesn't seem like he should have made his grand return already. Plus, I want to visit soon. And he needs to be there too. You could understand where she was coming from. This was certainly outside the norm. For the past couple months, and the last few weeks especially, Cove had been going to his mom's place in Nevada. The two of you still regularly stayed in contact over text and calls, but still, your mind began to drift back in time to all the prior trips he'd taken to visit her. Almost every year he'd have to go away for a while, and then he'd be back. Made you sad and lonely, you never minded it. It's kinda nice. It was just shitty. It upset you. Your younger self worried about him leaving for good. Let's see, it was just shitty. Let's see. Let's do this one. You sent him letters. Your mom said we ship out care pack. That's so cute. That's something I would do. I love shipping care packages. You gave him special treasures to take with him. Kept an eye on his house for him when he wasn't there. Okay. Let's do care packages. It was always full of really great stuff. He sent you regular letters in return. That's how it was in the past, but lately, he had been trying to see her as much as he could before taking long trips to another state. It became too impractical to do. His part-time work could become full-time soon, or he could be moving somewhere else for school. Cove hadn't actually been entirely clear about what his plans are after... Oh, it's time to stretch. His part-time work could become full-time soon, or he could be moving somewhere else and declare... Okay, cool. We read that already. Let me do something real quick. Where are... What? Menu. No! No. Here, let's save here before I do something fucking stupid. Before I do something stupid here. Let's see, where are... config? Okay, here we go. Music. I thought I had music set to minimum. There we go. The music is a little blurry in my ears, but I kind of want to be able to hear my redeems from you guys. That should be good. Yeah, that should be good. Perfect. Alright, cool. Yay! Now I can hear the redeems better. That's better. Now it's a little bit better. That's a little better. Maybe we should switch this up to a non-Cove related topic. Sounds like a plan. Alright. Let me get some water in me. Oh, my throat's dry. So much reading. The both of you exchanged goodbyes, then you went back to what you've been working on before the call came in. Oh, look at her! She looks so precious and bitchy. I love her. As you wrapped up the last of your chores, you were approached by Liz wearing a cheeky smile.
And then I have to drink more water.
And then I have to drink more water. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I've got Mom's keys. Want to get out of this tiny town to do some shopping in a real city. That sounds great. I got booped. Thank you.
Good.
Take a boop along with it. Oh, thank you, Livy. Love you. Good, I'm driving. That was obvious. You didn't know how to drive. You're glad for that. You just had a learner's permit. Let's see. You had a license, even though you could drive too, is her plan. Yeah. I know how to drive. I can drive. Yes. Yes, yes. Excuse me. I didn't mean the burples. Go get your wallet. Anything else? We're going now. Get it, bitch. We're going shopping. With a nod, you made a quick detour to collect your stuff from your bedroom. You had money saved up from all the part-time work you'd done, as well as some gifts you'd received. Hell yeah. After making sure you were both fully prepared for the long haul to the largest city in the surrounding area, you buckled into the car. Oh, thank you for excusing me. It was a smooth ride there, with a light conversation about what shops to stop at, and the radio blasting. Hell yeah, blasting tunes. What do you think we're playing in the car right now? The trip there breezed by, in what felt like no time, you had... What the fuck? The trip there breezed by, and in what felt like no time, you had gone from cruising down the road to cruising through the mall. Liz had her interest to check out, and you, yours. Hobbies and skills are the ones you develop. You've gotten into new things. What are the new things? You like to read, you like to watch, games are fun to you, hang out with people, like the beach. You're into fashion. Let's see, I enjoyed music. You listened to a lot of it. And you enjoyed learning new things. Let's see. You're into fashion. You love shoes, you love makeup, you love jewelry, clothes. I like makeup. I do like makeup. I'm really bad at it. Doom music? Oh my god, we're just blasting Doom music all the way to the mall? That is... Oh my god, that is such a girl's trip. That is such a girl's trip. I do like clothes too. I mean, what the hell? Yeah. I like it all. I like it all. I do like accessorizing. I do like accessorizing. I wrote things, spent time on art. Let's see, creating digitally, sculpting, drawing, painting, and that was pretty much everything. When turning a corner down a new link of the mall, your eyes caught on a little gift store. Your friends and family had recently given you many presents for graduating high school. You realized you wanted to get a graduation gift yourself to give to Cove. You had a gift of your own. Let's see. I would think we would have a gift of our own ready. It was something you had known you wanted to do, and you were looking forward to seeing his reaction. Graduation may have already come and gone, but Cove wasn't really around, so you had to wait. Eventually, the mall was explored in full, with every shop of note being checked over. Rather than going home, you decided to walk over to some small stores nearby. Liz had many thoughts on the topic.
So?
Honestly, malls are not a bastion of society. Even if smaller stores require extra distance, the brands are so much more. Then your sister abruptly stopped speaking, and walking right in the middle of the path. It was a good thing no one was behind her. She seemed to entirely shut off for a moment. Liz? The attempt to catch her attention was unsuccessful. Something else had all of her focus. Before you could puzzle out what might be happening, she began to mumble out of the corner of her mouth. Abika, don't draw attention, but look. What? With a harsh whisper and a subtle jerk of her head, she urged you once more.
Hey.
Look! You followed her gaze as best as you could to a large bunch of colorful teens strolling down the same path. Okay. You face back over to your sister with a confused expression. At the unspoken question, what were you supposed to be seeing there? Pika, doesn't one of them seem, familiar? She was practically bouncing at this point, so you looked over to the group over again, and this time you saw what she was saying. Oh my goodness! He's so cute! Oh my god, he looks like an adorable little newsie. Amongst the collection of strangers was brown hair, gray eyes, and lots of freckles. That's Shiloh! Our Shiloh from when we were kids! Yep, that was definitely him. I can't believe it. He's honestly just there. That's hilarious. That's incredible. Oh, but how do we talk to him? We'd have to pull him away from all those other people and... Oh, what if I'm wrong? Purple does suit him. You're right. Your mouth opened to reply, but she cut it off with her own answer to the question. I've got it. I'll shout the name Shiloh, and then we can act like it wasn't us. If he responds to that, we'll know without a doubt it's him. Hipika, keep an eye out to see if he looks. Liz, can't you just talk to him normally? We're not doing that. Let's try it. Fine. Can't you just talk to him normally? Likely without even hearing what you had to say. Oh, no. She put her plan into action. Shiloh! She loudly projected the word across the way, then put on an act of casualness, turning her head away from the scene while brushing at the skirt of her dress. In a supremely awkward moment, you could only stand there as the tension in the area shifted to the two of you thanks to your sister's shout. But of the many startled bystanders who became altered to your presence, one of them was the boy. From a distance, his large eyes met yours. He looked. A wide grin took over Liz's face. She pushed the rim of her sun hat up and away from her face while swishing back around to greet her old friend directly. Shiloh! Waving, she stepped a bit closer to express her intention to meet, without really closing the gap. She wanted him to come to her. Who you presumed to be Shiloh looked up in surprise at the call-out. He stole a quick glance at the crowd he was with, then hesitantly glanced back your way. He was trying to double-check something. Liz remained steadfast with her gaze trained on him, and ultimately, he broke away from the rest of them. After a light-footed jog across the brick path, the young man pleasantly presented himself in front of Liz and you. Hi! I like your hat! Just that simple greeting had Liz giggling. Hello. I'm not sure if you remember this, but I'm Lizzie, and that's Hibika. We were all friends when we were little kids. His already wide eyes grew even larger, their gaze darting between you and Liz. His previously chipper demeanor faded into something delicate. I'm really sorry, but I think you have the wrong person. I could tell. You could tell not being instantly recognized, but going to make this exchange more of a challenge still, Liz was undeterred. It was a long time ago. You were really young. I get why you feel like that. However, I'm positive I'm right. You're exactly the same. The face, the freckles, how genially you try to phrase things. You're even still wearing a hat. Instinctively, he looked up at his headwear with creased brows, not making the connection on why the hat meant something to her.
Okay.
We knew each other, okay? An uneasy smile settled on him as the silence followed Liz's speech. He was picking his next words carefully. And then the quiet was obliterated by a new voice bursting into the conversation. Shiloh, what are you doing? The rest of the group already left. A field trip is not a vacation. We are on a schedule. Startled, your head snapped toward the path. A distinctively unhappy individual with piercing magenta eyes, dark brown skin, and a sharp jaw stormed your way. He carried a cloud of authority with him, despite looking like he wasn't even 18 yet. Sorry, I didn't mean to ditch. Shiloh, whose name was officially confirmed, gestured with a hand to add the explanation of his absence as the stranger watched impatiently. They thought they recognized me as someone they knew, but it was a tiny misunderstanding. Liz theoretically as well. as well as literally put her foot down at that, stomping in frustration and getting more childish the longer she was around her childhood companion.
Come on.
We do know you. Shiloh merely shrunk in on himself. The tone he spoke was pained. Sorry. You honestly couldn't tell if he was apologizing for the upset feelings of your sister or the palpable dissatisfaction of his new acquaintance. That in itself was very Shiloh-like. Oh, you know him. Is that it? The stranger spoke in a dismissively scoffing tone, as if the words sounded so absurd to him, it was almost amusing. Almost. But the sternness of his demeanor quickly reinstated itself. Well, do you know me? I'll tell you. I'm someone who's been forced against his will to be aware of what's going on in Shiloh's ridiculous personal life for a year. If the two of you had any importance in his general day-to-day existence, it would have come up by now. Don't bother trying to exaggerate any trivial connection you might have. It's not good enough. He's with us, and you'll survive without him. Now stop loitering in the road. It's rude.
Excuse me?
Excuse me? We're the rude ones? The high-strung ranting got an audible gasp from Shiloh, who finally started to speak up again in his defense. Nate, that's really mean. It's also true. We're leaving. With that declaration, the unofficially introduced Nate indignantly spun on his heels and walked speedily towards where the group went, completely confident that Shiloh would follow behind. Oh, people sure have bad attitudes, huh? Why can't they just try to get along? It's not hard. Don't worry, though. I bet you won't have to deal with him again. And I'm sorry I can't stay to talk to you, but I hope you have a really nice life. Bye! And that was it. His final parting words given. Shiloh left the two of you behind to catch up in his own life that he had to go live. Liz watched his exit, stunned, only to frown when it hit her that he was really gone as quickly as he appeared. It happened so fast you hadn't been able to get a word in. Iro! Hello! Welcome! Haven't seen you in a bit. How you doing? She sighed, all of the energy she built up releasing with a breath. I could have told him his last name was Fields. His birthday is October 30th, and that would have proved it. But no. Let's see. Whoever Nate is, he sucks. Couldn't help but laugh. Let's see. Whoever Nate is, he sucks. He was so unnecessarily unpleasant when all he wanted to do was talk to someone for a moment. Do you want to go catch up with him? Liz merely shook her head, pushing off childish thoughts. I think we can leave it here. Thanks. He's in the middle of high school field trip, and it was already enough being able to see him. There's something reassuring about witnessing firsthand that he's still out there, enjoying his own part of the world. Though, if given the chance, I could definitely have a few words with him about the company he's got. She laughed, but you could tell there wasn't much humor to it. She was mad at the guy, even if she was happy to let Shiloh go. Maybe they're only with each other because of the trip, and it's not usually how things are.
Right?
True. We can only hope the same for him as he did for us. Have a nice life, Shiloh. Have a good life. Good luck out there. You'll need it. Didn't have anything left to say. Let's see. We'll miss you. Liz smiled at you, and had the self-confidence you knew so well from her. Come on, little baby sister. Let's finish our own trip. Yeah. No matter how either of you really felt about the occurrence, it was something you simply had to accept. People you know just disappear and reappear in the most unexpected ways. That is definitely how life is. People just come and go. That is how life is. The two of you enjoyed what remained of your outing, until it was time to return home. By the time you arrived back, the sun was already beginning to set. You arched your back as you stretched your arms toward the ceiling. While it had been a good day, it had enough activity to cover an entire week. Liz tried to hide a yawn behind her hands. You weren't the only one feeling worn out. Oh gosh. Damn it, Liz. Yawns are contagious, don't you know? I'll be heading up to your room, I mean, the guest room, since mine stopped being available as soon as I was out the door. Her tone was light. She had quite a lot to say on the subject when you had first taken over her bigger room after she left for college, but there had been many trips back home for her since then. The room hasn't been hers for years. It was more of a running joke, now that she continued to bring the topic up to this day. Let it go, Liz. I didn't see your name on it. Thank you, Liz. This is a nice room. Let me see. Thanks for being so gracious about giving it up. I had no choice. A small laugh is shared between the two, between you and your older sister. You better believe you'll be back in the guest room when you've got your own place and we're both in town for a visit. We can take turns. You'll have Thanksgiving, I'll have Christmas. What a reasonable and mature suggestion. I'll think about accepting it. She flashed her familiar grin, and you couldn't help but feel glad she was back around, even if it was temporary. With that, she plodded off to the spare room. You were ready to do the same. Moving into a new space was your first opportunity to decorate from scratch. Designed my room? I get to design my own room? Oh my god. Customization, no fucking way. Layout. Blue, green, purple, purple. Oh my god, I love it. Oh my god, I love it. Oh my god. Books and things. Yes, blue. Oh, that looks cozy. I kind of like the purple setup, but I like the look of the blue setup a little bit more. Yellow also looks kind of cozy. Oh god. I like this. I don't know why. I really like this, but this looks messy and I don't like it. I like how neat and tidy. I like the green one because it's got a computer. This one has makeup and perfumes and shit, and that's kind of what my room looks like IRL. Green is more studious. That's more like basic, I guess. Purple's kind of cute though. Extras, oh, like a flower vase and stuff. Candles! I can have all this shit. Alright, window, left, right. Oh, it's toggles. Extra. Oh, okay, it's the same stuff. Window, books, plants. Do you want books, plant, or plants? Let's see, right? Oh my god, stuffies. I like that. I like the shell and stuff. The books are nice. The books are a nice touch. I like the plant. I like that more. Let's see. Walls, left, back. Shark. Back. Wait. Can I can't. Okay. Back. A jellyfish. That looks kind of cute, actually. Wait, does this change with the layout? Oh, I see. It saves your shit. Okay. Walls, left, back, lights. Fairy lights! Hell yeah! Hell yeah, brother! I can't have both? I like the lights better anyway. Lower, middle, right. That's so cute. Oh, the guitar. I used to have an acoustic guitar. I used to play guitar. Let's see. I like that. That's for stargazing and stuff. I like that one. Ooh, that's nice too. I like the guitar. The guitar's really nice. But I think I like this a little bit better. I don't know. It looks cluttered. I don't have to have it. I like that. That looks good. I don't like the other thing. So, like, can I just change the room and then have, like... What are the other... Oh, I see. Oh, so it's, like, the same. Okay, it is the same. It is the same? Oh, I can't... Okay, so there is a closet there, so I can't... Yellow, blue... Well, what are my options for, like, the blue room? I wonder. Oh, okay, like a hamper and shit. A window. Same stuff. Yeah, same stuff. Walls. There's like more options because there's no wardrobe there. I see. Okay. Oh, we'll go with the purple room. I like that. I like the way that looks. I like the way that looks. That looks pretty darn good. Yes, yes. Yes, I love the candles. Very romantic. Very romantic. Yes. We are done! You're really satisfied with the feel of your tiny part of the world. As your thoughts drifted, you tried to bite down another yawn. Oh, I know that feeling. It was no good. Your bed was now lodged in your mind, and all you could think about was collapsing in it. Thanks! Selects purple room. Yellow walls. I know, I thought the walls were gonna be purple. I kinda wish we could change the color of the walls. But I didn't see an option for that. Yellow and purple are kinda nice together. It depends, it depends. I kinda like this, how it's white right here, so you can kinda see the accents. This is kind of a nice design, because of the lofted ceiling here. That's actually kinda nice. I like that. Stepping inside, you closed the door behind you, blocking the rest of the house. When you turned back around, you realized you were not alone there. Comfortably perched on the windowsill were someone very familiar to you. Oh, hey boy. Cove Holden. How are you here? I don't think I'd have any words. Surprise? His tone was easy and relaxed. It certainly was a surprise. You hadn't expected him to be within the state, never mind your own house. He hadn't answered how he just had suddenly appeared back in Sunset Bird. Though, to be fair, you had been too astounded to actually ask the question. Thankfully, oops. Log. Hello? He hadn't answered how he just said blah blah blah. Thankfully, Cove took a hint from your stunned expression and began to explain. I got in about 15 minutes ago. No one was home, so I figured I'd come in the usual way. Damn trespasser. Always coming into my windows. Not that I'm complaining. The window. A small smile had formed on his face. You were still staring at him, unable to blink in case he disappeared. You could only still barely believe that he was really there, mere feet away from you. I left my bags in your backyard. Hope that's all right. That was when you truly understood. Cove had come straight to you upon getting back into town. You were his first port of call, taking precedence above all else. Even though you hadn't been in when he called, Cove had ensured that he'd see you at the earliest opportunity, rather than allowing his plans to change. You laughed. The realization made you bashful. Let's see. Let's run to our boy. Run to your boy. Every second away from him was a moment too long. As you approached, Cove quickly hopped up from the windowsill to meet you. You're too crazy. I missed you. Trouble's back in town. Let's see. You're too crazy. You wrapped him in a gentle embrace, pulled him into a bone-crushing hug. Let's see. We could do kissies. You do kissies. Let's do a bone-crushing hug. Let's see. I feel like the bone-crushing hug is, like, calling to me right now. You know what? I feel like after such a long time without my boyfriend, I would definitely kiss. A kiss is in order. His eyes widened as your face inched closer to his. Cove was absolutely nervous, but stood his ground. Oh, come on, dude. It's not the first time. I have to pick where? I have to pick where? Nose. On the cheek, on the lip. Don't be a pussy about it. He placed an affectionate peck on his lips. They were tightly clamped together. He wasn't able to reciprocate much, but he didn't mind. He was still working on his boldness. You then stepped back a bit. Cove rubbed the side of his head furtively. He's so on the butt cheek. No. Yes, I bend at the waist and curl my whole body around to peck his butt cheek. Though he was trying to hide it, his giddy smile was too bright to be masked easily. I missed you. Even if he had said it outright, he would have gotten the message from his body language. Cove was grinning widely, his raised cheeks burrowing his eyes, which gleamed like hidden gems. But he looked at you as if you were the most exciting treasure of all. How was the trip? Ko's brow creased as he considered your question. Ko stepped toward you, cupped your face with his hands, gently guiding your chin so your eyes met his. Oh, I guess he worked on his boldness then. You could feel the beat of your racing pulse against his fingertips. I hated it. Let's never be apart again, okay? He said that absolutely as a joke, an exaggeration, something that wasn't a real request, of course, and yet, despite all that, it felt real. Your heart hammered in your chest, your head swam, cast adrift on the tide of thoughts and adrenaline. Ko smiled, as if offering a silent apology for his sudden onslaught of tenderness, but he let the words proudly hang in the air all the same. Ko told you about how his trip back had gone, since you'd even recovered enough to actually listen. Soon I recovered to listen. His mom was doing really well. She had a project in the works that she was thrilled about. As a result, Ko was going to be sticking around in Sunset Bird for the time being. Things were settled, as much as they could ever be, with Ko back once more as you felt ease. Girl, why are you girling me, girl? Why are you girling me? What are you girling me for? Ko stretched his arms out over his head, his eyes on the window in the world beyond. The sun had set, while you've been busy reuniting.
Well,
I should probably get my stuff and see Dad. He glanced over to you with a familiar, expectant look. I miss being in a relationship so... Aww. Oh, I'm sorry. He glanced over to you with a familiar, expectant look. Wanna come with me? Sure, I can go for a little while. Cool. Ko began to head to your bedroom door. Sister, I want another piggyback ride. It was a special occasion. Ko. He paused, turning to face you once more. You coming back is a big moment. Something worth celebrating. What I'm trying to say is I want you to give me a piggyback ride. Ko didn't say anything. His eyebrows raised in disbelief.
seriously?
Really, Hibika, you want me to carry you downstairs? You nodded. Ko rolled his eyes, but he bent down so that you could clamber onto his back. Even while he was crouched down. Ko's back was a steep peak for you. After a couple of unsuccessful attempts of you trying to jump up there, Ko squatted down a bit lower. Ko wobbled as he straightened up, not terribly accustomed to balancing someone on his shoulders. Ko carried you down the stairs. You had to duck a couple times, the ceiling grazing against your elevated head. Still, you safely reached the ground floor of your house. The door's gonna be in the way. Get off here so I can open it up. He bent down to let you slide safely off of his back. Seeing things from unusual height was disorienting after getting accustomed to looking down at everything. In all the excitement of Ko's return, you hadn't even remembered the gift you prepared for when he got back. It'd be best to give it to him now before he left your house. Can you wait here a little while? I got something for you. Ko's eyes widened as he tried to conceal a smile. He toyed with the collar of his top.
Really?
Really? You didn't have to do that. You nodded with some eagerness, trying to imagine how he'd react when he actually saw it. Let's see. The gift you chosen had been something you could buy. You bought Ko something special. The gift I'd chosen... I wonder what this one is. It was... Oh, the orange shell!
More water.
And then I have to drink more water. Something I made myself a wet puppy. Poppy, not puppy. The orange shell. You quickly went up to your room to collect the shell, knowing exactly where to find it. It had been housed in the same box since you were a little kid after all. Taking great care you extracted it from the case. Is it sleepy time? It is sleepy time. Let me finish this scene off. I think it's almost done. Though it had been a long time since you'd taken it out, the grooves were as familiar to your fingertips as the opening line of your favorite song was to your ears. Ko had admired this shell ever since he first saw it, declaring it to be the best of all of your treasures. Despite that, he'd never accepted your offers to take it. You hoped that might change tonight. You closed your hand around the shell, not wanting Cove to see it until you were ready, and headed downstairs. When you were back in front of Cove, you cautiously lifted your arm up. He looked on curiously as you unfurled your fingers to show him the gift. I know you don't want to take it from me, but what I want is for you to have it. Cove stared down at the familiar shell nestled in your palm. His mouth parted, though no words came out. He drew his eyes up to meet yours, silently, and found the answer to whatever question he couldn't speak. He put his hand over the yours and broke the silence. Okay. It was as quiet as a whisper. His fingers were as gentle as his words, brushing against your palm as he took the shell from your grasp. He cradled it carefully against his chest and smiled at you, his eyes bright. I'll keep it forever. Cove reverentially laid the gift safely on the counter, but he didn't turn back to face you once he had ensured it was secure. Though his face was angled away from you, you caught his eyelashes fluttering as if batting away tears. His throat bobbed as he swallowed bubbling emotions. Oh my goodness! You knew that Cove could be sentimental. The gift, and all the memories and feelings tied up in it, seemed to have taken a toll on him. When he began to sniffle, you felt the need to reach out. Cove? You can't... You just... Ibika, I don't know what to do. He forcefully scrubbed at his eyes, like he was trying to push the tears that threatened to spill back in. Oh, Cove, it's okay. Do you need to cry? No. Nevertheless, tears had begun to spill down his cheeks. Even as he wiped them away, more took their place. Thank you. His voice quavered as he spoke. Cove reached out. You gladly stepped forward to meet him. He laid his warm hands against your cheeks and brought his lips to you. The kiss was quick as it was light, like a butterfly fluttering against you before skittering away. But it couldn't have been any sweeter. I know! Oh, it's so sweet. It's so sweet. So sweet. You're such a crybaby. Oh. Let's do that one. Cove let out a steady breath. It was far removed from the shaky gasp that had accompanied his sniffles. The tears had dried. His eyes were a little red, but open and at peace once again. He smiled, fully recovered from the emotion that had overcome him. You're really, seriously, too nice to me. You smiled back. I don't think there is a such thing as too nice when it comes to you. Cove brushed his hand against the pale ghost of a scar on his arm. He was at a loss for what to do now. The clock ticked away, counting the seconds of silence. Once you had a chance to settle your thoughts, you figured you'd tell Cove the intriguing news. I meant to tell you earlier. I saw Shiloh today.
Huh?
Shiloh? Cove repeated the name, his expression blank. From when we were kids. Cove pondered for a moment, then snapped his fingers. Oh! He was the freckly boy from that first summer, right? The one who moved. I met a guy named Shiloh. He looked just like the Shiloh we knew. Plus, however many years. But he didn't remember me and just left. Cove frowned. That's, I don't know. Too bad I missed it, though you knew him better than I did. That was definitely true. Not only had Cove known Shiloh for a shorter period of time, but he and Shiloh had never quite gotten along. Not that they were enemies, just kids who were only ever together because other people they both knew. I wonder what Shiloh's up to these days. I don't have any idea. He didn't say much. Oh well. That was everything you had on that news item, so you moved on to the next big update. Also, you know the mean old neighbors? The ones who would always yell at us? He cringed, recalling those particular memories back in the day. It was not pleasant even for someone as nostalgic as him. Yeah? They're not coming. They didn't rent out the condo this summer. Cove's jaw dropped. You don't blame him. The elderly couple had been an institution for as far back as you could remember, long predating Cove's arrival. Even now as a teenager, you found your neck pricking as you walked by their condo, half expecting a scolding for breathing the wrong way in the vicinity of their vacation home. It was strange to think of that coming to an end. Wow. Cove blinked, clearly struggling with the idea in the same way you had. I didn't see that coming. People being gone, people coming back. It feels like I've missed a lot. This has been a busy summer already. Well, you haven't missed the fireflies. They haven't shown up yet. Well, that's something, and we better not get left behind. There's still stuff to do. He nodded. As soon as you left your house, Bo bent down to let you climb back onto his back for the last part of the journey. It seemed that no sooner had the night begun, it was already at an end, and the dawn of a new day was soon upon you. Alright, I think I'm gonna save here. We are gonna save right here. I'm just gonna save. I'm not worried about going back. I don't mind about replaying shit. Okay. Alrighty. Fantastic. That was a very nice note to end it on. Oof, I'm burping a lot. I'm drinking my water too fast. That's the issue here. Alrighty, but I'm gonna call it there. I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. I hope everyone enjoyed listening to me reading. And the couple asides that happened as well. You know that I love the company, you guys. If you are just, and to celebrate with a Foomp too, wow. If you are just coming in, you can always check out the VOD on my YouTube channel, which is linked in my Twitch. Or if you're already here, or if you're already here on YouTube, obviously you can still check out the VOD and you're watching it here, so, you know, it's a duo. You know how it is. But, if you like the VOD, subscribe, follow, buy me a coffee if you're feeling a little flirty. Any donations go directly toward the stream. And if you don't want the party to end, you can also join the Discord, which I can just paste again. I can just paste again right here. Woo! Hooray for commands, right? Alright. And let me go ahead and post the raid messages as well, which are somewhere. Here we go. Now for non-subscribers, this is your raid message. Alright, you guys enjoy these lovely raid messages while I look for a raid, okay? Alright, for subscribers, the second message is yours. You get all these cool emotes when you subscribe. Isn't that awesome? Ain't that something? Alright, now let's see what we have for a raid, huh? Let's see what we got for a raid here. Let's see. Alright. Well, I think I would like to pop in on Luna the Kitsune. They are a variety streamer, and it looks like they're doing a PC-o-thon. So, why don't we help them out and pop in and see what they're doing? Let's see. They're playing a game. I don't know what game they're playing. It never tells me this shit. But we're gonna pop in on them. You're gonna love them. They're super sweet, super nice. But, let's see. Alrighty, let me set this up real fast. Alright. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Tomorrow, I can't wait to play even more Dial Town, even more Insanity. I might actually get a drink this time. But, let's see. Alright. And we're good. Okay, guys, you ready to raid? Stick around if you wish. But if not, I wish you all a good night, sleep tight, and remember, tomorrow is another day. Nan kurenai sa. I'll see you next time. Good night, guys. Love ya.